You do have the RV.
Yes, and then I have a barking dog. Start the stream. I'm like, okay. Yeah, that's true. I mean, all right. I'm back. Yeah. Hi, Galaxy Star. Hopefully, you didn't hear the first part of that. Just, we're not gonna know about it. Yeah. I deleted that, so it's not there anymore. It's gone. Who is this Dragon Shinobi 98 who resubscribed with Prime? They've been subscribed for 2 months. And then says Potato. That is Potato Lord. Can I change your Twitch name? You are now Potato Lord. All right, I'm going to full screen that. We're going to flip to the main screen. No. Just because you said that now, you don't get a map. We're going back to starting stream screen now. You're going to stay like that. You don't get a map. I don't know what she's thinking. Yeah, you can see. You know what? Watch this. You think I can't? No. You want something? Hang on. I'll fix this right now. You wanted a map? There's your map. It's fogged really badly. You can't see each other. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, it will inhibit dark vision to a certain extent, but yes, you could still see. Oh my god. Let me get off of that screen. That's one reason why I can't delete it. Delete. Thank you. I don't need an extra screen right now either. So it's like, Here we go. Oh, I wanted to zoom out so you could see the map on here better. The beautiful ship of yours. No. You want a helmet? Oh. You guys technically don't wear helmets, so yeah, in some form. Yeah. So technically, I guess you could do it to your head. I don't know. No, you're minusing levels. Uh-oh. I didn't do it. Okay, let's not go that well. That could actually work. Wait. No. Yeah. Okay, let's bring it back. Now that I'm confused and yeah, okay. All right, with that, let me make sure things are running for the stream pretty good. She can't? Uh-oh. Oh, shoot, did my audio... Oh, wait, you guys aren't even showing... Oh, for crying out loud, what happened here? I didn't change audio. Give me a second. I will take a look at something. Speakers. Can you guys...
So
Oh, there we go. You start to talk. I can hear you and see you.
I am speaking the words now.
Okay, I turned them up, Galaxy Star, but I also fixed, I hope, the audio issue. Oh, no.
Okay, yeah, she says she can hear us.
You can hear the
now.
mighty words of the Potato Lord. You may rejoice.
Oh, well, hang on. Let me mute him.
You may mute me, but you cannot silence the message.
That's up here. You're probably looking for... Oh, wait. No, it's not that one. I don't have it up here. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked by the way. Who's that?
Finish doing this. No, sit.
Sit. I was told to sit. I'm sitting. There we go. Okay, sorry.
Well, we all know who wears the pants in that relationship.
Oh, yeah, I wear a kilt. When I can. Utility kilt, yeah, see. Okay. Let's start out. Let's see, where was I? Jesus. Well, after the last session, they encountered a big boy who was a combiner, almost got taken out, which was very interesting. Finding out
you are missing a lot of stuff in context.
I'm doing
there.
it. I know. Did not see what we do, but no.
It's like, I really hope that's not your actual recap, because my goodness.
No, this is it. That's it.
Okay.
Gilgamesh died and then came back to life. No. Okay,
Right,
so because my brain's
Pocket Dimension number 37.
Yeah, it was that. Yeah, that's in Dave's little device for Gilgamesh, you know. But no, since you guys were all sitting at Sparky's and you met with Sound Blaster, and you waited, in a sense, the client to show up. As Shockwave walks through the door, observing who's in there, a strange bot sitting in the corner, but he takes his attention and is more interested in his artifact that he came for. As Gilgamesh and Overload sat at the bar with Sound Blaster, serving them drinks in a way. After a bit of a discussion and somebody popping into the door named Ava, a little bit of a fight ensues with her little minions.
I'm sorry, I wouldn't really call that a fight.
Yeah, shut up. It was. It was a sort of fight. It was. But after Shockwave leaves with his map after a discussion, they all get into their little skirmish. I'll call it a skirmish. There we go. How's that? Does that settle the Potato Lords?
One-sided beatdown will comes to mind.
Yes, after all that, the fight ensues. Sound Blaster even got in there after I forgot a little bit. And then the fight got taken outside a little bit where they encountered a combiner brought in by Ava who pretty much was about to decimate them until Phoenix arrived in his new bot form, blasting the combiner apart. After that, they settled down back into the bar, Sparky yelling at them for messing up his bar again, but he is taken care of by Sound Blaster anyway, and they don't have the map now, but they do have it because Sound Blaster pops it out of a compartment on him and hands it back to him. They discuss the issues with the guilds and Ava. With the help of Kiara, Gilgamesh is getting more assistance with that to help with the crew. And now we're back at their ship, which has transformed back to re-energize up because he's going to need time to transform again if he does, to have that power. You're all currently residing in the ship right now. Void Striker, you're currently down in the lab medical bay. You were assisting with Micron, who was having issues before. As everything is settled down, the rest of the ship is sitting on standby, ready to do whatever it is you guys want to do, wherever you want to go. Where are the rest of you at? Where's Gilgamesh and Overload at currently in the ship?
Well, after our discussion at the end of the last session, I would have gone to go recharge.
Sorry. All
Because,
right.
yeah, I need a rest after that fight.
All right. So what I'm going to do is say during the time that we weren't on right now, you guys went and did your rest. You're all brought up fresh. So as you guys are coming out of your charge states, Carbine's kind of just sitting there, kind of at your head, looking down at you like, hey, you awake? You awake? You awake?
I'm awake now.
She's got a paw on your forehead and like, hey, we gonna train some more?
I think we can squeeze it in. We do have quite a bit to do today, though.
She gets up and bounces around. Yay! She's excited. Now we're gonna switch over to Overload. Overload, you were recharging too, right?
More than likely.
So you got Aegis sitting there and he's just looking over at you like, about time you woke up.
I mean, we did have a serious beatdown, so
You're a big boy. What kind of damage could they have done to you?
granted, I probably could have survived the blast, but it still would have hurt a lot.
Yeah, isn't it great to be in a battle?
Don't worry, my face blocked the shot.
And as Aegis is sitting there on his little perch. So, Captain, what do we want to do today? Just kind of look at you like side-eyeing in his bird form. Like, what are we doing?
We currently don't know exactly where we're going to need to go for Ava. So it's probably best that we try and keep ourselves in top-notch condition. So how about a simulation?
Okay, I'm game. What do you have in mind?
Well, it's probably best that we get to know each other a bit more, and what other way than to say that with swords. Or claws, in your case.
Swords, claws. He transforms in front of you. You just see it, and he lands down on his feet with the battle axe out, or battle axe. And he's sitting there twirling it.
Alright. Now, it's been a while since I've actually done a simulation.
And he's standing there eager to go. He's like, do you want me to initiate? He kind of bows
I'm a
to
bit
you.
rusty on it.
He goes, all right, just get yourself into standby and we'll get going. And so
All right.
he kind of stands there for a moment, but then he sits down and he crosses his legs and he has the battle axe across his lap. And you can see it glowing, but you kind of slip into this state and you suddenly feel this connection with him. You start hearing his voice. Well, we're here, and you see this plane. It's not Cybertron, but it is Cybertronian looking. And you see like the image shifting around you a little bit slowly. Here and there, you see what looks like, in a sense, it's you're on Cybertron, but it's not Cybertron. It's a different planet. You're seeing buildings, but as the image goes over, you see them destroyed, and then it goes back to a full building. And he looks around, he goes, this is where I trained and learned. You're on my home.
see.
You ready to fight? And he's sitting there like doing his fists like, let's go.
Well, considering we're in a simulation now, do you plan on upscaling yourself, or shall I downsize?
I can handle this. And he just kind of suddenly increases in size a bit, but he's still smaller than you. And he goes, I don't want to hurt you too badly.
Is that confidence I hear?
Confidence? Yes, confidence. Sure.
Then, as I point my swords forward, let the battle commence then.
He whips up the battle axe, and it's bigger now than it was before. So you're sitting there seeing the details, the emblems, the marks. He starts whipping it. I'll let you make the first move if you'd like.
Very well. As I will go ahead and initiate by heading forward with the Naginata form.
Oh, you bring it out.
And with it, I will go ahead and commence one slash. Let's see,
That will definitely hit him.
22 damage.
All right. All right. You still got your other moves if you want.
Yes, in which I'll actually, I haven't had much of a chance to use this one, so Toll of the Dead.
How does that work?
So how it works is that it is, of course, a normal attack, but the enemy must make a Wisdom save. In which, in doing so, they will take 1d8 of necrotic damage, but if they're already missing health, then it's 1d12.
Okay, let's see. Wisdom saving throw. Oh boy. Okay. Does a 12 make the saving throw?
12 does not.
Damn.
So they will be
Spell
taking.
saves D13.
Ouch. Okay, hang on. Put this down. Okay. All
They'll
right.
take 14 damage.
Ouch. But he's still up. He's just
And
looking at
that's-
you.
That would be my turn.
All right. He's going to take a swipe at you with the battle axe. Does an 18 hit you? I had to do the math for a second.
It would.
All right. And then with that. Wait, where'd it go? Oh, shit. 14 damage. I had to do the math real
14?
quick. Yeah.
Alright.
I was like, this math is a little weird. So with that, he still has another move. He's going to take another swipe at you. Oh. 17 hit you?
It would if I didn't cast Shield of Faith.
All right, then it misses you. You can hear him. Ooh, nice move. Just sitting there eyeballing you.
Gotta use some tricks now and then.
Sure, tricks. Yes. And he's watching you. Like, and he puts his hand out and he's like, come on.
Alright, then I will go ahead and strike again with my Naginata with a 24.
That will hit.
That's 20 damage.
Like, not bad, not bad. And he's still upright. He's not down in any way yet.
Oh, slash 21 or 13.
Nice. Okay. He's starting to show a little wear and tear on him, but he's still upright and still kicking. So, you got anything else in there? Or you just
Nothing for a bonus action, sadly.
all right. So, he's gonna take another slash at you. Is an 18 is gonna hit you, right? Or is
18 will hit.
All right. And oh shit, he did 22 damage this time. Okay, shit. Sweet. Wait, did I add? Yeah, I did add that right. Okay. It's like, dang, okay. All right, so he is going to take another slash at you. 19, and that will hit, right?
19. Yep.
This time is 19 damage. Yeah, 19. And he's standing there. He's like, you got some good moves.
Same to you.
Oh, God, you guys are trying to make me kill myself here. Posture checks and hydrate. But as he is standing there, you see the images kind of fluctuate around you guys. You see them move, and you start to see more of the structures being torn down and burning. It's more of like a real-time image happening at this point. You can feel it, just the heat from fires nearby. And it snaps back a bit more to where it's the images. It's him focusing back on this moment because he's remembering things.
I know. Don't lose your focus.
I stay as focused as I need to be. And he twirls the battle axe like he's ready for you to do something. It's like
Well, I'll go ahead and swap the Naginata back to its sword state. Well, 17 hit.
his sheet, if I remember right, yes, it will hit. Make sure. Yeah, it will. Because he's not in the other form, so.
Alright. It's 25 slashing.
He's starting to look a little more ragged at this point. He's looking at you because that was a good one. I like that move.
Then you'll love this.
You hit him, he slides back. And he's down, he kind of goes down to his knees for a moment, like it's one knee and he's sliding back. You can see the floor where his clawed feet dig in and he slides back. And he looks up at you and goes, that was good. And he's grinning and he's just looking at you like, I like that. And he stands up, he flips the battle axe up and back into his hand. And he's like, you're good. I like you. Knew I made a good choice with you. And he lunges forward at you at the last second. 17 hit you?
17 does not actually.
Doesn't hit. He swipes by you. He takes another swing at you at the same time. 19?
19 does.
All right. Okay, I gotta do math here. No, I gotta do that. Oh. 23 damage.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, that one was the highest one so far. I thought it. Yeah, that's right. Okay. I don't know how I got that. Oh, I know what. Okay, no, that's right. Add this, add that, add that. Never mind. Okay, we're good.
I'm definitely looking worse for wears.
Yeah, he turns to you and you see him stop and he puts the battle axe on his back. How are you feeling? We'll take a pause for a moment. He's like, time out.
Could definitely take another hit or two.
He looks at you. He kind of, he's looking up at you still because he's still shorter than you. He goes, and he slams his hand, kind of his hand like in a fist form into your chest. Like, yeah, I don't think I want to push you that far, but I did enjoy this skirmish we had. And he hits you again. He goes, he looks around. He goes, I don't bring anybody here. So to bring you here to see this and fight on this plane, I'm trusting you. And this symbol, and he taps where your Decepticon scratched out symbol is just a symbol. You do know.
Well, I think I made that obvious as clear.
But you do know what happened after they defeated him. And then they got into their stupid little squabble after it was supposed to be a fight for freedoms. And he turns away and walks to the edge of the platform that you guys are on now. And he's looking out. And you can see the image fall back to this burnt out Minicon planet. It's not smoldering anymore. It's just dead looking. He's just staring there for a moment. He turns his head. We learned a lot as Minicons during that time before our people were enslaved, tortured, experimented on, and he puts out his hand and you see him looking at it and like doing a fist and extending it back out. And then he just puts his arm back. They're fighting over stupid jealousy for each other at this point. Their battles are wasted. And they're killing so many Cybertronians. Minicons. Even other species in their path to prove I am better than you kind of thing, or I'm right, whatever you wish to take it. And you see the image completely fall around. You're only standing on a platform now. And they left us with nothing. We heard stories that our planet was destroyed. It's gone. So we don't even have this. This is after images. These are my memories. This is what they did to us. And you start seeing images of Minicons being thrown into cages and boxes. Some you see being torn in half. And you see these Decepticons just laughing maniacally at some of these instances that he's remembering. And you realize these are images from inside of a cage. His cage. As he watched his people being killed, captured. And you start to see a slight glow around him. He turns to you. I don't see the same thing in you as them, as he points back at the image. You, Overload, you recognize this bot a bit with the silhouette from a past soldier. Big guy, little crazy in the circuit boards, can be very brutal on the battlefield. You see Aegis, he's glowing a bit still. He walks up to you. I'm trusting you because I don't see in you what I see in them. And he looks at you. Are you sure you're a soldier?
I mean, I've proven myself to you, haven't I?
Very true. Very true. So what do you think of that thing? Now, Aegis doesn't know who that is. He just knows it's a Decepticon who pretty much brutally killed his people and enslaved them.
All that I can say is you're probably not going to be looking forward to the future.
If we can find a planet, a place that we can call home, it would be good for our people. It won't be there, but our home is gone. We have it here with you right now. But for the rest that are still in those stasis pods, I hope we can find home.
In due time.
I still don't think you're a soldier. You're different. And he turns and walks back over to the image, and it's like he waves his hand, and he stops for a second just as the image is starting to dissipate, and he stops. Do you know who this is?
Unfortunately so. Because he's the one I'm looking for.
Then we have an agenda, because I want to kill him. And the image disappears without even waving. And everything comes back to this pristine. There's no image shifting. He's completely focused. He's still glowing that orange like his battle axe does. I appreciate the time with the fight. I'd like to do this again. Have our little battles between us. And he walks up to you and he kind of thumps you with his fist into your chest again. You're not a soldier. You're different.
I wouldn't exactly call me a hero, now would I?
He shrugs and he laughs a bit. He's like, heroes? No. Heroes either die for their people or they get people killed. Heroes that die for their people, yeah, they can be considered that. But those who get people killed because they're trying to be heroic, they're not heroes either. We're people trying to do. And he looks at his hand, the right things that we feel is right. And you can see him doing his hands again, like he keeps seeing. And for a moment, you visually see him hold out his hands, and he's both looking at both of them at the exact same time, and he's just kind of looking at them. And you suddenly see the image drop of Aegis that you have seen this whole time to the real Aegis underneath that he looked like before. He looks similar to the minicons in the stasis tubes. But he's wearing a different type of armor. And he realizes you're looking at him, and he sees, and you see him suddenly focus, snap back to the other image. And he goes, I think that's enough for right now. I will end this session if that's all right with you, unless you want to practice some more.
It's probably best we go back to reality. we do have some stuff we need to work on.
He puts his hand out to shake yours. It'll be a pleasure to work with you.
Same to you. I'll extend my hand.
And with that, the whole situation, the scenario just kind of fades out, and you both come back to reality. And I'll stop with that. And I lost my ship down. So you both come out of it. At this point, you can move to the galley, move to the bridge. I'm going to switch over during that time back to Gilgamesh and Carbine real quick. Where are you two at?
So I've taken us to the cargo bay, and en route to this, I've sent out a message to Kiara.
You get
It's a text message.
Oh, just text? Okay. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, because we're kind of en route to go train, so I'm sending her a brief message. The message is basically going to say, Kiara, it's time we got to work. We need information on Ava, anyone she's associated with, anyone who may be presumed to be her lieutenants. We need profiles on them. We need to know who they are, where they frequent. We need everything. This is going to be like the days of old. We have to be ruthless. And that's the end of the message.
Within a second or two of that, you get a message back from her, and it's pretty much, you got it, Gilly. And at the end of the message, you see these little emojis like kissy faces and winky face. She's being cute.
I see that, and it just kind of.
And Carbine's kind of hopping along in her cat form. And she's like, "Are you blushing?" She's kind of looking at you. I swear your metal changed color. Are you okay? You sick?
Sick wouldn't be the word I'd use to describe it. More of a more uncomfortable than anything. But
She cocks her head. Uncomfortable? With... Okay.
it's nothing.
Okay. And she's like,
Pay it no mind.
she's just bouncing along and trotting along. Just you
No.
you hear little claws tapping along, ting 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 ting, as she walks.
You know, I am glad to see you in such high spirits after our defeat back there.
Defeat? Yes, I was caught off guard badly.
We both were.
She had me. I should have been more aware. I wasn't, and I should have been better prepared, and I wasn't. And I don't know what happened. I remember sitting there watching closely, and then all of a sudden everything was offline. And I don't remember what happened. I remember Aegis waking me up a little bit, and then I was out again.
Gilgamesh just nods. I take responsibility for that.
I should have been better watch. Be better aware. I'm surprised I didn't hear her coming.
I should have assumed that they would have had the combiners on their side by now. Too much time has passed.
She stops in her path as she's pacing around you, and she looks up, and her ears and eyes, combiners? You had to fight a combiner? I didn't
Yes.
see it.
You weren't there for it. Aegis had to get you out because you were incapacitated.
I became a problem then. And she looks down, and she's still in her cat form. I need to be better at this. I cannot falter so much. And she transforms into her bot form. Can you teach me more? Maybe to be better stealth. more observant.
In terms of stealth, yes, I can teach you some methods that can help you with that. He slowly kind of turns his back to her a little bit, and he's looking down at his katana. Unfortunately, stealth may be just a small portion of the many things we both need to work on. We're going up against an enemy that is more fierce than anything you or I will have encountered in our past. We have to be sharper. And he turns back to her, and he slowly starts pulling out his katana. And for that, we will work together.
She pulls her short sword out, and she goes, if that's the case, I need an upgrade. And she's looking at the sword. A sharper upgrade. And she's grinning at you a little bit.
He kind of looks over in the shoulder holster over at his rapier. Perhaps I can give you mine.
Do you think I could handle it?
Well, the crystal that's inside here seems to resonate with you and your people. It seems only fitting that you would be one who could wield it.
I'd like to try. And she takes the short sword and puts it back on her. And she's like,
He'll pop the energy rapier from its holster, and he'll turn it hilt down and hand it over to her.
She takes it, and it's kind of big at first in her hands. She's kind of holding it. It's a little big, but I think I can do this.
Gilgamesh will tilt his head that, actually, that's perfect. I notice you favor a one-handed fighting style. But for a true swordsman, you need to be adept at many styles.
She goes,
Do you know the sword art of kendo?
I read about it. Not done it. Aegis.
It's a two-handed fighting style that requires you to have both hands on your hilt.
Like Aegis. Sometimes he does that. He was teaching me some. I didn't get very far. She kind of looks shyly back down at the hilt, and I'm like,
Well, we're gonna pick up where you left off then.
Goody! And you see the blade ignite, and she kind of jumps. Whoops. Sorry. She turns it back off. Oops.
You're fine, but you're excited. You need to bring the emotions back down and center yourself.
You see her stop, and she kind of, like, it's like she's taking a deep breath, but you suddenly feel the space kind of around her. You feel this kind of push out moment, and then all of a sudden it feels like everything kind of slightly pulls in. And you swear you see her glow just a little bit. But then she's still and calm, and she looks up. Okay, I can do this.
I'll raise my katana and assume a two-handed stance.
She takes back, and she looks at the blade, and she hits it this time, but she doesn't flinch, and it comes out. And you see that blade color. And she's like, I'm ready. Are you? Like she's taunting you.
He's stone cold staring, just hit me with everything you got, and the mask will snap up into place.
She looks up, and she's going to take a swipe at you with it. Let's see. Does a 17 get you?
It would, but I'm going to use shield.
She swipes at you, and she's like, ooh, dirty pull. Okay, I see how this is. So she'll take another swipe at you. One more. Okay. if my rolls are going to be this. Okay. She hit a nat 20.
Okay.
She had enough of your shit.
She only.
I told her to hit me with everything she had, so
So she does 22.
I asked for it.
She did 22 of damage because that's what I was able to roll.
22. Okay,
Yeah.
so
And now it's your turn. You can take yours.
all right. First off,
Let me flip it back to that screen.
I mean, I know we didn't do initiative, but I asked her to take the first turn. So
Yeah, it's okay. It's just the 2, so it's all right.
yeah, no, that's fine. So first off, gonna activate mage armor.
Okay.
So that's gonna bring my AC to a 17 going forward.
Sweet.
And for my second action, I am going to take a swing with my katana.
Oh boy.
And that's a natural 20.
Holy shit, yes it is. That definitely hits.
And because I'm doing this in a two-handed stance, it's going to be 2d10 plus 4. And that's going to be doubled because of the crit.
Okay, that's all right. We'll take
So, here we go.
it.
All right, so that's 14 plus 4, that'd be 18. So it'd be 36 damage she would have taken.
She's all right. She's like, oh. And you can see her eyes narrow at you. And she's like, oh. But you can still feel that she's focused on what she's trying to do. She sits there and looks at you, and it's like, okay, I see what you got. Okay. So is there any other move you can do? I don't know. Do you have a second?
Well, I've used 2 actions.
Okay.
I don't think I have a bonus action I'm going to use here.
Okay.
No. So
that's
yeah,
all right.
that'll be my turn.
You kind of see her jump up, and she's going to try and slam down on you. With that, she's got a 18. Oh, wow. Okay.
That hits.
And she does. I gotta do the math right. 22. Holy crap.
I'm down to 1.
She comes down. She's gonna take her second attack. 17. That matches,
That
right?
succeeds. She's knocked me out.
She takes the blade. She stops dead right at you, and she holds the blade so close to you. You can feel it just emanating, but the blade is a little brighter than it was before. And you see her eyes suddenly flickering, just going back and forth from her normal deep purple to that red. And she's flickering back and forth, and you see her blink. The optics kind of just blink, and she stops, and the blade retracts, and she's just holding the hilt still in position. And she's not moving. She's looking at you, but it's like she's in shock. She's not moving.
See? You're much more stronger than you think yourself to be.
You start to see the tears from her optics. I wasn't in control for a moment. And she's kind of in between, and you see the optics kind of flicker red again and back. And you suddenly see her optics close, and she's still holding position. You feel that energy wave, but it's stronger. It engulfs you. You feel it. And it's like all this pressure and negativity in her body is just being pushed away. And you feel her body relax, and it's like everything comes back in, but it's a wave, like it's cool, it's refreshing, and she relaxes her state, her arms come down to her side, and she opens her optics up again, looking at you. Focus, right? Calm, balance.
I kneel down to her. You've done very well today.
She holds the hilt back up to you.
I'll just reach out for it and gently take it from her.
Thank you for letting me use it. It was interesting feel. And you see her fingers kind of like, and she pulls the short sword again. She goes, it's better than this. And so she puts it back on her back, and she's looking at yours and going, I may need to get one. And she's just kind of sitting there, and you can start feeling a little excitement. Like, she's like, that was good. Bad, but good.
You've taken your first steps into a larger world.
Yes.
And
yes.
I'll reach out and just kind of put my hand on her shoulder. I'm proud of you.
She looks up. Thank you for the training. Do we do more? And her head cocks to the side.
We will in time.
Okay.
We have plenty of time between now and whenever to do more. But we have work to do. And there are many things on our plate that we have to address.
Yes, we do.
In the meantime, I do believe our new artificer wanted to examine one of the dead.
You see her demeanor instantly just change. Yes. I
think of it as an opportunity to learn. We need to understand what happened to them, and he is the one who can give us the answers.
Yes, I know. I want to know what happened. If they were drained, or if they ran out of energy, what happened?
Well, let's go attend to this matter then, and be done with it.
Yes. And with that...
And I'll just reach out to her, and
she transforms into her caracal form and climbs up onto you and wraps around your neck, and she just kind of lays down like she's trying to relax, but you can feel the little bit of a tension in her body because that last part, but she's just laying there. And with that...
Right. And with that, we're going to go find Void Striker.
And with that, we're going to go over to Void Striker. What are you doing? Put it down. Stop doing that. There we go.
It's not my fault. Somebody
Wait, what just happened? I just got confused.
Void Striker's into something. He's probably doing something he shouldn't be. I'm already taking preemptive steps. No, but what is Void Striker up to in the lab medical bay?
At the moment, just sorting out data primarily.
All right. You know, you got Felix sitting there. Micron is kind of still quiet. He hasn't really said much. You usually would hear him going fascinating or saying something out loud, but he's been pretty quiet. He's analyzing data, but he is not as talkative as he was before. And Felix is over there. He's doing some monitor checks on the current minicons that are in there. And he's examining the one that Gilgamesh put in there with the rest of them that is the opaque case that has no wording, no lettering on it. And he's pulled it out to examine to make sure it's charging up, everything's okay with it. And you can see him over there doing just like analyzing it and making sure. He can't really see through, can't get a reading through it, but he can detect that it is charging up, and it seems to be okay.
Alright, well, while he's doing that, I'm going to use Right Tool for the job and just magic use that to create some scanning tools, the best that I'm aware of, and hand them over to him without really saying anything.
Oh, thank you. I've been trying to figure this one out. The other ones I can do pretty easy reading through the tubes, but this case is like the other two were. But this one, they said they can't read anything on it and they don't see anything on it. And he turns to you don't see anything written on it, do you? And he's
I have agreed not to look without the miniguns present.
well, I'm just asking you to look at the case, not do anything to it. And he's taking the tools you have and he's like doing scans and everything. He goes, I can only read the energy input and output. That's it. I just know it's in okay state. I can't pick up anything else with our devices. Okay. Sorry, I had a...
That is interesting for a...
Yes. I'm not sure. I'm unfamiliar with small bots of this nature, and they've been really good with Overload and Gilgamesh, and they seem pretty good. I like them, but I don't want to cause a problem with one. And he kind of sets down the tools. Gilgamesh, you were on your way to the med bay, right?
Yep. I mean, I'm assuming by this point we've
Yeah.
arrived.
Yeah, at this point, you have Gilgamesh walking through the door of the med lab bay. I'm going to give it a weird name. And you see Felix working on, and kind of not working on, but examining the one case. And he turns to Void Striker and he goes, you have anything that might scan a little deeper? And he stops talking. He goes, oh, hi. And he sees you, Gilgamesh, and he spots Carbine. And he goes, hi, Carbine. And he reaches up and he kind of just gently pets her. How you doing, little one? And he purrs
He
to him.
he
and-
nods to everyone, gentlemen.
And she's purring at his touch, so she's okay with Felix. She's just like, yep, you've taken care of my friends. I'm fine. It's like, but he goes, I'm running an energy scan on this one that you brought in, Gilgamesh. I'm picking up. It's charged up but I can't read anything else into it if it's okay or not. You feel Carbine kind of relax a little bit, but she perks up like, oh, you can feel her curiosity starts to kick in a little more again.
That one wasn't found with the others. We found this one on Velocitron.
And
To what extent it's been damaged or lack of repair, I do not know.
he whips his head back on Velocitron. That's unusual.
It wasn't in your normal shops, if you were wondering.
Oh, those shops. Oh. You feel Carbine
I just
kind of
happened
hop off,
to
and she's on
I
the
just
phone.
happened to catch eye of it and thought might be useful to take with. He clearly didn't know what its worth was.
You see Carbine snap her head toward you, and her eyes kind of narrow. Worth, because she knows she's not taking it too personal, but you can feel that kind of like.
He's just
Yeah,
being matter of
okay.
factly because
Yeah.
I bought it for 100 Shaniks.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just being matter of factly.
Yeah, but she
Most-
again, mini-con, she's taking it as like, yeah, I know we're worth a lot more, but it's like it's that slave thing and everything in her, and I'm like, okay. She just looks
I
at you,
just
but
look
she's
at
like,
Carbine. You know I don't mean it that way.
yeah, she kind of just rolls her head like, yeah, I know. He walks over to the case. She doesn't say anything, but she kind of sits and looks down at it and puts her paw on it. You see her look up, and she's just staring at you, Gilgamesh. And he's fine.
Is there
He's charged.
something about it?
She goes, I can tell you he's doing fine in there. He's charged, but he's not ready to come out yet. It's
Very well. Well, he can come out whenever he's ready.
Yes, he's an interesting one. And you could see her kind of frown a little bit, and even in her cat form, you could see her ears kind of go, And Felix is just
Define
looking like,
interesting.
He is a little more relaxed. She doesn't have a word that she can use for it.
He just tilts his head, just relaxed.
If it's the same one I know of, yes, relaxed.
Very well. We'll just leave him be until he's ready.
Yes, he'll be fine. You can tell Medic he'll be okay.
I'll just, I'll turn to our medic then and just, that little one will be fine. He's charged up. He's just shy.
Oh. Okay, well, I just want to make sure they're okay and they're safe. Carbine kind of just trots her back across around on the counter and hops back up to you. And as she does, she kind of just looks down at Felix and like shaking her head. Yeah. Okay. He goes, I'll put him back in there and keep him charged up. And you see him take the case carefully and set it back in, and he slides the hidden compartment closed, and you see it seal back up like it's a natural part of the wall. He goes, the rest of them are doing okay. For a brief moment, though, you could see Carbine eyeing the ones that aren't alive. They're still hidden in there with them. They're not charging up because there's nothing there to charge. But you can see her kind of, you feel that sadness in her just kind of creep in a bit. And she's just like, okay.
I'll just address Carbine. Carbine, do you want to choose which one we examine? You don't have to. I'm just offering it to you as a choice.
Just a moment. And she kind of holds still for a moment. It almost like you kind of feel a vibration from her. And we're going to head over to Overload and Aegis. Where are you two currently at in the ship?
Probably at the. We'll probably be at in the cockpit. Like, see any. So, like, if there's anything within range.
All right. As you're both there, Aegis is transformed. He's sitting in the other seat doing analysis. You suddenly kind of feel a little weird yourself. You can see Aegis out of the side of your optic, and he's not moving for a moment.
You good there?
He's not responding. And then suddenly he starts to move, and he turns to you. I have to go down to the med bay. It's time. And he just gets up and walks. He doesn't even transform. You can hear him walking, and it's not like you can tell in the footsteps. It's a walk, but it's not his normal kind of guard walk. He's usually pretty pronounced, like how you would walk as a soldier. Well, in his case, you can hear it more in a sense relaxed walk, but it's that sadness walk of tink, 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 and it's getting quieter as he walks away. And
oh boy, what's going on down there?
so you see him turn the corner and he heads down. He goes kind of through the cargo bay. You know, he could have walked all the way down and taken a straighter route to the med bay, but he's taking a longer route. Ooh, what's thinking? And you know he's taking a longer route on purpose because you know the routes in the ship. That way it would be faster. You know it's not an emergency. It's something else. Because you're feeling a little bit of what he's feeling right now. It's a down, like that sadness that Carbine was feeling, but he exhibits a little like, I'm just not, no. So you will hear his footsteps kind of just tink, tink. It's quieter, quieter, and you don't hear it anymore because he's out of range now. While you're all in the med bay, you hear some footsteps. Gilgamesh, your assassin senses, you're like, those are small footsteps. Carbine hasn't moved yet. He's just sitting still.
I can guess what she did, and I'm just gonna
Yeah.
wait.
You kind of hear that ting, ting, and it's getting louder. It's not fast.
I'm just gonna kind of like lean against the wall over here off to the side, just kind of making some room.
Carbine starts to move. She transforms and is down on the floor at the doorway, kind of looking at it. You see the lighting in there is kind of darkened right now. You see a pair of orange optics, but they're not happy looking, like they're there. And you can still see the glowing of orange through his body, because each one of the minicons do pulse a bit of energy through them. You see him standing there kind of silhouetted a little bit, and Carbine puts out her hands and he steps in, and you can see for the first time his tears running down his face. And she just hugs him. You know there's something happening because they're very sad, but you hear the beeping. It's not fast, it's not happy or anything or angry, it's just a sorrowful sound. And they both walk over hand in hand. The cabinet, he touches it. Felix is just standing there like, do they need help? He's like, what do I do? He doesn't know. The cabinet opens to the ones that
I just kind of
passed.
give him a look, just let them do it.
He's kind of like, I'm here if they need me, kind of like, just okay.
Mhm.
As they're doing this, I'm going to keep my word and slowly take all my weapons off and basically just put them inside of the room, like over here or something.
Okay. They don't notice it. They're
Except for my
focused.
auto crossbow, I'm going to throw that over to Gilgamesh.
You see Aegis reach out with his one free hand, and it's like you can see him, like, I don't know which one, but he touches one and he looks at Carbine. You don't hear anything, and she just nods, and he goes to step forward and try and pull it out. Overload, you feel from him a deep sorrow just from where you're at in the ship. You can feel it. It's not affecting you, but you can feel him. And as this is happening, as he's taking it out, you start getting flashes of what was happening kind of in your battle, or your little fight with him. But you're seeing more images. This is stuff you've gone through as a soldier. You've seen stuff that's happened. You're seeing his images in your head now because he's just kind of letting it free. And it's complete brutality. Minicons getting stomped on, ripped apart. And you see these Decepticons just laughing. And you see that one. You know who he is. He goes by the name Torque. Aegis doesn't know that, but all he has is this. That's the one bot that's doing most of this. Just being brutal. Aegis takes the canister out, and Felix sees him kind of struggling with it. Carbine's kind of comes over, tries to help. It's not heavy, but in his state of mind, and he sets it down, kind of. They both are trying to, and Felix kind of looks over at you, Gilgamesh, but he leans down quietly. With respect, I can help you with it. And you kind of feel that sorrow. They're both now tears in their eyes. Felix puts his hands out. Carbine puts her hand on one of his fingers because they're small. And A just looks over and does the same thing, and they pull his hands forward. And he takes the canister in his hands, and he goes, "I've got to." And they both let go, and he lifts it up and sets it on the exam table carefully. And he leans back down, and he puts his hands out, and they both kind of sit down on his hands, and he lifts them up. "I can hold you here while this goes on, unless you want to be there." And you hear his tone. It's changed. And it's like you can hear him fighting back the tears in there. And they're kind of like holding onto his thumbs, like little kids almost, just like, and he feels the squeezing because what will happen right now. And both the mini-cons, Aegis and Carbine, are looking at you, Void, right now. They look up and they're staring at you. And Gilgamesh, since you're right there, you can feel this. You know this kind of feeling of like, don't you dare fuck this up. That's what it literally is translating. Don't you dare do anything wrong. And they're just staring at you, but you can feel it. Then you see kind of Carbine turn to you, Gilgamesh, because she's in the opposite hand away from you.
Mhm.
And she leans around Aegis. If he wishes to start, he can. And she leans back, and they both sit there, and they kind of drop their eyes to the mini-con in the tube.
Do you two have any ground rules for this examination?
You don't get to take anything. We just want to know what happened.
So I'll turn to Void Striker. Basically, you cannot salvage anything. You may open him, scan him, images, pictures, but you may not take anything. Savvy?
I understand. I'm also going to need one of those broken charging pods.
You see Micron hasn't moved, but suddenly you just hear out of the corner, "I'll get it." And he hops down and opens up a cabinet where it was sitting, just because it's not doing anything. So he picks it up, he brings it over to you, Void Striker, and lifts it up. Here you go.
Thank you, Macron. I will take the broken charging pod and just put it on the bench, just over here for now.
You see Micron turn around. He kind of climbs back up, and he's still small, but he's not that small to the mini-cons. And he looks over. "I can do scans as well, if you would like."
I was going to ask for your help, for your eyes are better than mine.
Yes, I can help. He kind of puts
If
his
you
hand
do not
down.
mind, I was going to ask if you do not mind if we share our optic sensors.
That is fine with me. And he puts
I'm
his
going
hand.
to,
You can see him put his hand on the tube. "We'll find out what's going on. We will try and do our best." And he looks back at the mini-cons. He looks to you, Void Striker. "I am ready when you are."
I'm going to extend a cable over to Micron so he can connect so we can share our sensors.
He takes it and he plugs it into the side of his neck. And suddenly you both have two views. Your optics is in his is in yours, but they're like little windows so that you can actually bring it up bigger when you need it.
And so the minicons know what's going on. I am going to get Scamper to come in and basically put up a hollow display of what we're seeing.
He shoots it up, and A just kind of looks up and looks at you, Void Striker, and his eyes kind of squint, and he nods very slowly, like he's saying thank you, but at the same time, he's still watching you.
And it's time to proceed with the. First, we're going to check out the pod, then the minicon after.
All right.
What would you like me to roll for the pod?
Let's do an investigation on it. Oh shit. Okay.
20.
You look at the pod. It seems intact, but there's some. It looks like possible scorch marks around the base of it.
With the help of Micron, I'm going to get him to zoom into the very finer details of the base.
You hear the optics on him kind of change, but then you see his little microscope flip over his shoulder, and all of a sudden you just get, and it looks like it either blew out something or something happened internally that blew out the sides. They look like vent holes or slats or
Now,
slits.
I sent you a DM question earlier.
Oh, just, I can't hear
yeah.
him. Hang on. Look at.
Don't worry, my Discord doesn't go off when I get messages either. I just need a yes or no to that.
Question is, are you saying you worked on it, or are you worked on one? Like you,
Like, worked on one.
so you were messing around with the minicon ship?
More or less found one.
Actually, yeah. Let's say yes, you did find a small minicon ship at one time that you do know some of the technology.
Well, if that's the case, I'm going to bring up my references from the time I examined the minicon ship with this pod here to see if I can potentially identify which part was blown out.
All right. As you look at the pod, though, these are not minicon origin. You do recognize some of the craftsmanship after Micron really zoomed in. These are smaller versions to ones that would be transporting regular Cybertronians. The capsule, you can see that the glass or the casing around it, you can see inside. Micron zooms in on each little area that you want him to, and you can see that these were pods that were made specifically for this size of bot, but not this type of bot.
With that information, Voidstrike is going to have a more of a concerned look on his face.
You see Aegis kind of looking at the screen, and he's squinting like, what is this? He's not saying anything. You can't hear him or understand him anyway if he did, but you can see his facial expression. And he kind of taps Carbine lightly, points, and he's shaking his head, and you kind of hear some beeping between them.
I'm
And
looking over them as they're talking amongst themselves.
there's all of you hear is just beeping between them, and they're gesturing. And Carbine kind of stands up and steps to Felix's other hand, and he's holding it still, and she's standing behind Carbine or Aegis. So Carbine's standing there, kind of balancing, and she looks at you, Gilgamesh. That's not minicon technology. That would cause a problem for us.
Incompatible technology?
Yes, we can charge up normally, but in long extended periods of time, I didn't see this before. And you can see her kind of knock her head with her hand, like, I should have known that. The energy inputs and outputs can vary sometimes. We can handle it, but for this extended period of time, it's been... And she kind of looks at her hand, and you see her kind of counting out. Too long. we need to get the other mini cons then out if that's the problem. And she kind of just points toward you, and all you hear, Void Striker, is beeping sounds. And she stops for a second, and Aegis is like, he can't understand us.
I would like to roll a d20 for something, if you don't mind.
All right, see what you got.
Alright, I failed what I was checking. The scanner I've got in my hand, I'm just gonna crush.
And they're kind of like, they take it kind of like, is he mad? But they're not saying anything. They're just kind of like, you see Aegis, his hand starts to slide to the battle axe on his back. It's like, what are you doing?
So I'm gonna look over to Void Striker. So you see the same thing. This technology is incompatible. Yeah.
Get them out of the pods.
But they're not. I don't know if they'd be ready for that. You can hear Carbine Gilgamesh talking to you. I don't know if they're ready. I mean,
We're gonna need to find a better solution for their charging safely. If what they're doing right now is going to be harmful to them in the future, we do need to discontinue it.
If I could track down another minicon ship, I could possibly make a proper charging pad.
She hears this and she looks at you, Gilgamesh. Even Aegis beeps at her a couple times, and she looks at you. I don't know if there's any more left. Most of them got destroyed that we know of. The only place...
I'm going to turn to Carbine. Do you or Aegis might be able to know where we either can acquire or possibly build you a proper charging unit?
Unless we can find the parts or a ship, and she points toward Void Striker, and then she looks back at you, it would be our home. Like I said, long extended periods of time in this state. If I take some time, I might be able to make a circuit that will help with it. And she turns to Felix, and all he's looking down, and he's kind of puzzled, like, because all he hears is the beeping. And she stops again, thumps her hand to her head, turns back to you. Can you tell him we need to monitor the power input, but also their state of input and output? Can we do that? Felix,
I'm basically just gonna turn to Void Striker and say, their power input needs to be regulated while monitoring their input and their outputs.
You hear Felix even pipe up. He goes, I've been monitoring the input and output of the pod. I checked them over. They seem to be in a good state.
Switch all instruments to that which you would use for a protoform.
I didn't even think of that. Sorry, little ones. I got to put you down. So he sets them kind of at the edge of the... they step off and kind of stand there on the exam table. And you see Aegis kind of lean down and put his hand down on the tube again. And Felix turns around and he goes, I didn't even think of that. Click, click. And you hear him, you just see him hitting a few buttons on the panels, and the screens suddenly all change. And every one of you, even Carbine, is looking up. And Gilgamesh, oh, this is not good. We've been reading all the wrong stuff. Their levels are not good. I thought they were okay. I can feel it, so can Aegis, but this is not good.
Are they receiving too much or too little power?
Both. It's fluctuating too much. This technology is probably not going to be able to be adjusted that far. I need to make some adjustments. And she puts her hand on Aegis. You hear some beeping really quick. Then you see them jump down, and she kind of runs off. You hear her kind of run to the hangar and everything, and the cargo bay. She just runs in there. She doesn't say anything. You guys are standing there, and it's like, and you hear Felix, Void Striker, these readings are off. The input and output's fine, but they are not. We can wake them up, but I don't know if they actually are okay then.
If what you're telling me is true, waking them up would be far too dangerous. The process of waking them up could flatline them.
Yes, I agree. You can hear in the cargo bay Steel like, "What does he want? What is it you need, little one?" And you can hear stuff kind of flying around, and Steele's not arguing or anything. You just hear him, "Do you need this?" Okay. And you can hear him picking up stuff and moving it for her. And you kind of see Carbine, you hear footsteps, and she's got a handful of like pieces and parts, just mostly circuitry. And Steele's behind her, comes up behind her, and you hear that thud, 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 because he's so much bigger. And he kind of leans around and he goes, "I think she wanted these." And it's a handful of parts. And he kind of, and she's just gesturing, "Yes, yes, yes," and literally dump them on the floor right there, kind of thing. So now you got a bit of a mess on the floor. But she starts, you can see her sifting through. And she goes, "This is going to take time, Gamesh. I need time. I need time to fix this." And
Are the minicons in any immediate danger?
no and yes. They are okay as long as they do not drop past this point. And she points at the screen, and you can see there's a marker where if those start dipping below it, they will start dying. She goes, "2 of them are close, but not there yet. I have time. I can try to fix enough to hold them." And you can see her just pulling through, and she picks up a couple pieces, and she walks over to you, Void Striker, and she looks up and she holds them, and she's not saying a thing to Gilgamesh or anything. She's just holding them, and they're 2 circuit boards.
I'm gonna kneel down and open my hand.
She hops in your hand, and she's like, "Up, up." And she holds
I'll
them
take
to
her where she wants to go.
She's holding them to your face, like holding them out. These. And she's kind of like gesturing, "Put together and wire together."
I will transform my other hand into basically like a mini tool station with, right tool for the job, and just bring my hand close so she can just use any tool in my hand.
And she grabs hastily, and she's sitting there. It's almost like watching a little mini welder go to town. And you guys see sparks flying a bit here and there. And she stops for a second. She turns back to you, Void Striker, and you just hear a bunch of beeping. And then she goes back to work, and then she stops again, and she looks. Hits her head again with the little, like, mini welder in her hand. And she turns to you, Gilgamesh. "He needs to finish exam. We need to know if he ran out of power from this. And that's probably what killed the rest." And A just kind of sits up. You guys suddenly, it's like, "Oh shit, what the fuck is going on?" And he's like, you hear beeping, and she's making noise back at him. You're hearing this whole conversation. And
I'm basically going to relay to Void Striker that she's asking you to continue the examination. We need to know if they lost power or if there's something more to this.
With that, I'm going to, because my hands are a bit busy, get Micron to examine the bits that I need examined on the actual minicon.
All right. He starts to go to town. You hear Micron, Void Striker. He goes, "I can't fully examine the body with it in the tube. Can we remove it with their consent?"
I just look at Carbine.
Aegis is sitting there. He can understand you guys. He stops, and he literally just grabs with one hand. Now, Overload, you suddenly feel this urgency, but also this bit of anger in him from where you're sitting at in the ship. So you're feeling that moment.
You mean like right outside the door?
Oh, you're outside the door now? Yeah.
Yeah, he's been outside the door.
I didn't. Sorry, I haven't looked at the map. So I'm in my mind. I'm describing everything. So
I'm just kind of just.
He's vibing.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything. I'm just. If I need to step in, I'm gonna step in.
Yeah. But you feel him, and you see the top of the canister. Literally, it's like he unscrews it and it pulls off, And it's like, that shouldn't happen, but he's pissed. So he pulls it off. And the minicon's still floating in there. And Carbine stops. Void Striker, you can see her just sitting there watching the corner. Aegis reaches in carefully, lifts the body out. Overload, you feel that sensation from him of complete sadness, but a bit of the anger starts to come through. He lays the body down for Micron, and you hear from Micron, "Thank you." And Void Striker, you suddenly start getting influxes of images. You can see the X-ray through the body. The power supply is completely empty. There is no power. His spark's not there anymore. You guys are sitting there, and Carbine goes back to welding real quick, and she holds it back up to you, and she's pointing. She stops and hits her head again. "Gilgamesh, he needs to wire these 2 points into the charging bay. It needs to be put in line."
I'm just pointing that out, and just these points need to be placed into charge state.
With that, I'm going to do exactly what she's asked of me.
So she's still in your hand. She kind of hopped out, so your hands are free, and she's pointing here, 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 and just gesturing.
With full freedom of my hands, I'm going to go into full artificer mode with my arms.
So I'm not even going to have you guys roll for any of this stuff or anything, but as soon as you wire it in, you hear Felix, "Whoa, the levels are leveling out a lot better. They're starting to charge up normal. This is good." You hear the power kind of adjust. You hear a different wave of power. All your perception in the room suddenly changes. You feel this energy, and suddenly you can see the cabinet glowing again with the live minicons, and you see Aegis and Carbine. They're not moving.
I'm just gonna say to Carbine, are they stable?
She's not moving. She's not responding right now. She's just still, but they're glowing lately.
I'm just gonna watch her and wait.
As you're all
After
sitting
making
here,
sure everything's installed properly, I'm going to go over to Micron with the minicon.
Aegis is still sitting there, but he is not in your way. He's just still glowing lightly orange. Felix is, the power levels on them, they're slowly coming up now like they should. I should have seen this. And he goes, "I'm going to monitor every second." And you see his ARM console, he reprograms it to show the levels. At any time they drop below a level, he's like, "If they drop below this, it's going to alarm me immediately, and I'll be here if I'm not already."
Felix, set your scanner to sensitivity alpha 3.
And he goes, "Done." Aegis comes out of this glow state, and he kind of looks a little tired and weakened. Overload, he kind of looks at you. He goes, I'm a little tired now." Yeah. And he kind of starts to fall over, and he's kind of down on his knees.
I'll go and head towards him. All right, buddy. Let's get you somewhere to relax.
And he kind of puts his hand out. "I don't want to leave." And he kind of falls asleep, in a sense, in your arm. And it's like you're carrying a little toddler around, or a little baby in your arms, because he's so small to you. And he's just kind of in and out. It's like he's drunk almost, but he's just so exhausted. And Carbine's still down there glowing.
I would like to walk towards Aegis, and I'm going to turn to Overload. Is it alright if what's happening to him is correct, he might have a slight energon shortage.
Mhm.
That question, is it a yes or no? Can I touch your mini con?
I'm just gonna go check on Carbine as I'm seeing her still down there and still glowing.
Yeah, and while you're doing that, Gilgamesh, you notice she's still in this state. You can't feel anything from her right now. It's
Is she in her bot form or her caracal form?
bot form. Because she was using her hands and everything during that time.
I kind of gently put my hand on her shoulder a little bit, and
As you do, you snap into a moment where you're suddenly hearing all these voices. They're happy, sad, angry, some of them. You're in a moment where right now you're not technically where you're at. She's not there either, in a sense. She's floating amongst the rest of these voices. You can hear so many voices. Some are yelling, some are, what happened? Where are we? Others, what happened to us? Who did this to us? And you can hear them getting angry on and off. Some are really calm, some are just panicking. And you can kind of hear this other voice in there, and it sounds kind of weird. It doesn't seem to fit with the rest. They're very serious on most of them. Some of them are very calm, very, oh yes, okay, so we are here. You can hear Carbine in the distance. Please, everyone, calm down, calm down. It's okay. And you suddenly hear this other voice. Dudes, come on, chill out. It's all right. And it's like, you can hear
well, that's a
Carbine.
little jarring.
Yeah, it's like this weird sound. It's like, what? This voice just comes out of nowhere. It's like, and you hear all of them, oh, not you. What happened to us? You hear Carbine talking, bad things have happened, everyone. Please be calm. And you hear this gruff voice. They just said that we were destroyed, our planet, our home, our place. Many of our people are dead. And you hear him getting angrier, and Carbine's like, calm, please. We need to calm. Many of us are, yes, gone, but we have good bots helping us now. Everything kind of calms a bit. Yeah, dudes. And it's like, what in the world is this voice again? Even Carbine, you hear kind of this aggravation from Carbine's voice. Really? You have to be here? Look it. It's all right. Just go with the flow. I'm just going to go like chill over here. And the voice kind of drifts in and out. And you can kind of hear it singing lightly. It's just weird. And Carbine's like, you were always such a pain. But everyone, we will find home soon. A new one. Please be calm. And you suddenly, how are you here? That's not possible. You can't be here. The voice gets louder to you, Gilgamesh.
I'm kind of
What?
looking around, like, where is that coming from?
You just hear all these voices, but you don't see any of them. And then you see.
Am I like in a dream state as this is happening?
It's
or
literally
okay.
You're in a like she's not still right now. You are not still, or you're still. Excuse me. And everybody's Felix is like, guys, I think we have a problem. And they see you slightly glowing, but in your coloring. And
So mine would be like a red glow.
yeah, it gives off a light red glow right now because you're touching her. It's emanating into you and it's giving off your aura, in a sense, your energy levels. And you hear these voices. You're kind of, it's like you're in a cone of light in this state.
Okay.
And you hear that voice getting closer. You know it's Carbine. How are you here? And it's
I'm
really
not
close. Like,
entirely sure myself, as I'm just kind of looking around into the void.
you suddenly see these pair of eyes. They're kind of floating in the air and moving around. And you can kind of hear the sound. It's like a windy sound, but there's no wind. There's nothing. Oh, he's got the flow, man. He's like chill. That's why, dudes. And you hear Carbine, will you shut up? Oh my god.
What does he mean by that? The flow.
And she stops herself. The flow. It's the energy flow we share when we choose to connect with another. You have been teaching me focus and balance. You are in balance. You have taught me balance. We are in sync. Our wavelengths right now are very close. You are able to be here, but I don't know how, because usually this does not happen. And you hear that other voice.
I kind of look
Dude.
down and I kind of I'm touching some of the fur portions of my armor. It might have something to do with this.
And as you do, you see Carbine step out, but it's not the Carbine you know. It's that other form, her original. She's very sheen looking, very clean looking, and she looks at you and blinks. Fascinating. This would be interesting. And that sense of it's her talking to you. This is not possible, but it is. And you hear that voice again. Dude, come on. It's all right. We're flowing in the same river. Come on, man. It's okay. Dude. And you see her turn around and look up at the eyes that are floating up there. Look at Drift. Nobody asked you. Go away and find a sea to float in. Like far, far away. You could be so annoying. Dude. And you can hear their full-on conversation, and it's like, I'm sorry. Wait, you can understand him? Snaps up and looks at you.
My eyes
Oh,
are kind of
shit,
floating
Miller,
back between
man.
her and the eyes above me, like, yes?
That dude, he is totally in flow. You see the eyes kind of floating around in the darkness, and they're kind of moving. They're not normal optics. At this
Are they
point.
like very tall? Are they like several feet above me, or like how what's the
They're-
distance of these eyes?
I will describe it to you. The eyes are deep green, but you can tell one kind of goes out of vision when it moves around, but you hear that sound like wind, but it goes up and down. It moves around you like it's swimming through the darkness. And you see Carbine just kind of look back up. Drift, go float on a stick. And he's, dude, no need to be rude. It's all chill here, man. We're all good. We're all good. Carbine just like, sorry, I don't understand how you're able to understand all of us in here. If you can hear him, that means you heard everybody else?
I did hear everyone inside of here, yes, but I'm not entirely sure how I'm doing this either.
That is not
I
possible. That is not possible. You see her kind of start pacing around right at the edge of the darkness, and she's still in the light, so she's pacing in a circle, and she goes, "That is not possible." And you hear him again. Look, dude, it's all right. It's okay. He's one of the bros now. You can see here. You could swear it's kind of flipped over somehow because the way it's moving, but you can't see it. You just know it's doing some weird stuff and just floating around you. And you see it come down to her level and still in the darkness. You can kind of see a nose of some sort poking out of the darkness a little. Dude, it's all right. If you trust him, that's probably a reason why. And you see it kind of drift backwards. And it's like, I'm going to go
Demeanor
chill.
aside, I would tend to agree with our little flyer here.
Flyer, you're so cool, dude. Where'd you find him?
I kind of looked to Carbine with just this look on my face of just, what is this?
That is Drift. Interesting. He's the one in the case. If he ever wants to get out of it. And you see her squinting angrily at him. Dude.
You mean the one we found from Velocitron?
Yes, he is the one in the case. As I suspected, it is him. I wasn't sure. You see hear the frustration and anger in her voice. He's a bit of a nuisance. Dude, look, I just want y'all to relax and have some fun. Just chill, relax. It's all right.
You seem to be awfully relaxed for someone who was nearly dead not long ago.
Dead, alive. It's all good, man. Hey, as long as we get to, enjoy what we got, we're fine. We'll float through this life. We're all right.
I'm kind of glad I didn't have that happen to me.
You trying to mush his mellow, bro?
Dude, what's up, bro?
Look, I'm gonna go chill. I'll see you later, little sis. I am older than you. You're still smaller than me, though. And you see him drift off. You are such a pain. But I will be back in a moment. Just stay here. And you see her kind of gesturing, and she walks into the darkness again. And you can kind of hear the voices. Look at everybody. It will be fine. If you need them, you need anything, you know how to reach us. And okay, just rest for now. You will be charged up soon. I hope. She says you can hear that, but none of them hear it. He walks back. We need to get out of this. So
I'm not even sure how I got in here, so I'm not entirely sure how we get out.
I will take care of it. And you can see her hands come up, and she does a symbol, and suddenly you see it light up, and it's the Minicon symbol. You feel on your body somewhere something happened, and you come out of it, and Carbine kind of falls backwards and lands up against the leg of the examination table, and she slides down, and she's kind of blinking slowly. That took a lot out of me. Aegis, where is Aegis?
Not showing. As I'm like, oh wait, no, I don't hear her.
Am I sharing in this feeling of her exhaustion?
Yes, you will feel it, but it doesn't tax on you as much as her.
Okay.
She was
Okay,
literally
drop
being
in
a
the bucket.
conduit. She was literally a conduit for that communication, so you barely felt anything. She took the brunt of it. And she's sitting there. She goes, Aegis, where's Aegis?
He's overloads with him. He's gonna take him to recharge. I'm gonna do the same
Okay.
here for you.
And then
And I just extend my hand out for her.
she kind of rolls into your hand in her bot form. No, want to stay for rest. I still have little energy. I need to see. And she's just
All
kind of
right.
laying in your hand, kind of again like a little baby almost in a sense, but your hand is holding her because she's that small.
I still didn't get the answer to whether or not I am free to give Aegis an energon shot.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Yes, you can.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'll give Aegis a shot of energon.
You see his optics open a bit and uh overload. He's looking up at you.
Yep.
This is awkward. Why are you holding me like this? He's just looking at you because you're holding him like a toddler, like a little baby.
You were about to pass out? Well, you did. But-
Yeah. I hate doing those communication things. And he puts his hand on his head and he's like, my circuits feel that every time. Ah.
I'm gonna
So-
walk over to Gilgamesh, put a hand on his shoulder, and just like, would you like me to give an energon shot to her as well?
I turn to Carby and ask, would you prefer a shot, or I can give you some energon strips?
She looks at you, Void Striker, but she doesn't say anything. She looks at you, Gilgamesh. Energon strip is fine. I don't trust shot.
Fair enough. And I just turned to the Void Striker. That won't be necessary. She'd rather take her food other ways. And I'm just going to pull out from my personal storage, I'm actually going to pull out 2 energon strips for her.
You see her kind of hold on to the one, and she looks like she's a drowsy little kid sitting at a table, but she's leaning back in your hand and she's just eating it. You see her optics, and it pulse through her under skeleton. You see that pulsing. It
Mm-hmm.
just kind of, she kind of perks up. Much better, thank you. And she just kind of sits there. We need to continue. And she's just sitting there eating while watching.
Alright, back to examination, let's go.
Micron has still been examining the minicon, and you're still connected to him, so you're seeing all the info coming in and out.
Yeah, I'm still processing, and you know.
And he gets down to a spot. I'm gonna actually have him roll. Okay, he doesn't do too bad. Can you roll me a perception check?
Hey, you know what else I can do?
Oh, shit, that's right. I forgot about that. Never mind. Okay, we're good. I like this. This is good. Because as Micron looks at his energy, this particular minicon's energy storage, you see in the scan, you see him scanning over where the energy, and he passes over the charging circuit. You catch a glimpse, and so does he, but he kind of just keeps going. A little.
I'm gonna tell
something
Micron to go back and zoom in that particular area.
here, and he points over. He's just about right where you need him, and he zooms down and he goes, oh, that means the other ones blew out their charging circuit badly. This is bad. So when it discharged them, oh,
There's
man.
only one way to cause damage like this. It wasn't accidental.
Probably
It was or it wasn't?
It wasn't. This is intentional damage.
This something happened here. It's not good. The circuitry they used, they didn't care. Micron's just looking at this, and he stops. I'm going to examine the capsule again. Can we take that apart more? And he's looking at you, Void Striker.
We're going to have to, because this damage is telling us what it's telling. I'm going to purposely look at Gilgamesh, so as I'm explaining this, he can get some idea. This is effectively running pure energon through a spark chamber at 300 times the speed.
You see Aegis and Carbine look at you, optics wide. You guys hear these loud beeping from both of them. You guys don't understand anything because they're talking between them and they're looking back and forth going, why? You hear Gilgamesh, you see Carbine turn up. Why did they turn it up so much? That would explain why. Oh my, no. This is bad. This is bad.
I'm going to turn to the miniguns and go, if this is what I think it is, I'm going to need to examine an intact pod.
You mean, does he mean a live one, Gilgamesh?
Not the minicon, the pod the minicon is in.
But if you take them out now, they may not make it, right? And she understands everything you said.
I'm turning to Carbine. We're not removing him from his pod. We simply need to examine the pod itself, because if all of the pods are like this, then they are all in danger from these pods themselves.
Okay. And you see she looks over to Aegis, and you hear the beeping, and they're like, shake the head. Yes.
We'll continue to regulate and make sure nothing happens inside the chamber, but we do need to examine the chamber itself.
That is fine with us. We are okay with this.
From
Pick one.
seeing the nods of the minicons, I'm going to walk over to Micron and go, apologies for a second, Micron. I'm going to pick him up and take him over to the cabinet where they are so they don't have to be moved.
And he's like, oh, okay. Oh, all right. Okay. Please don't drop me.
I'm going to bring up basically a holographic blueprint of the damage pod. And the areas where it was damaged, I'm going to mark them out in areas and ask Micron to zoom in on those areas so we can see.
All right. Let's see. I'm gonna have Micron do. Oh shoot. Okay, nat 20 from him. Never mind. You don't have to do nothing. That was
gonna say I still got more flashes of genius.
Yeah, he literally rolled a nat 20, so I'm not even gonna. So he examines one of the pods. So he's got the cabinet open further from the one. So he's got one. He's like picked one random, and so he starts examining the one. This would have the same effect if the circuit that's in there wasn't in place now. It's reduced, but
disconnect my cable from Micron.
He completely dies and falls to the ground. No, I'm kidding. I'm just messing with you. No, he's still standing there doing the exam.
I'm gonna turn to Gilgamesh, Overload, and the minicons and go, I'm going to have to ask something that the minicons are probably not going to like.
They both cock their head like, hmm?
Go on.
Spit with it.
I would like to ask permission to quickly go through their memory banks so I could potentially find the material signature of a minicon ship so we can find one.
Carbine looks up. There are no engineers really in there. Oh, wait. No, there is. Oh, no.
What?
Carbine.
And she looks at Aegis, and Aegis, Overload, you get this. Oh, for Cybertronian slag. Not him.
Him? And who?
You just hear the beeping for a few moments, and it's like, she kind of, Gilgamesh, can you take me over to the cabinet where that one is?
She seems upset. Why does she seem upset?
I'll explain them in a moment. And I walk her over to the case.
She wobbly stands up, and
I'm helping her up too. I'm helping.
And she gestures toward you, Void Striker. Come here.
I will go over to the tiny bot beckoning me over.
And she's like gesturing hand. Give me your hand.
I will extend a finger.
She grabs your hand. Gilgamesh, I'm going to need more charge after this. And she slams her hand on the case. And suddenly, Void Striker, you, Carbine, and now Drift are in a moment of tranquil state. And you are standing in a similar cone of light. You hear two voices arguing back and forth. Dude, it's all right. I'll help. Come on. It's our brothers and sisters, man. And you hear Carbine, oh, will you just shut up with that talk? Come on. You're the engineer around here. Yeah, I know. I make some pretty cool stuff, though, don't I? Shut up. Just help him. You, for the first time, Void Striker, see this mini-con step out. Doesn't look like Carbine, but it sounds like her.
Well, I don't know what Carbine sounds like.
Well,
Yeah, he went. Yeah, I would only know what Carbine
that's right.
sounds like.
That's right. I forgot.
This
But
is my
no,
first time hearing her.
You're hearing these voices, but she looks up at you. Hello, very curtly, and just. This is Drift. He's our engineer. Can you, Drift, give him some schematics he needs? We need it to help. Yeah, I know. I got it. The light kind of changes to a cyanish blue, like you're in water. Suddenly, the cone spreads out a little further. You see those two deep green eyes kind of moving around, floating. And you swear you're in water, but it's just the light. Carbine's standing there looking at you. This is the only time you'll hear me. Understood, Void Striker? Decepticon? You hear a tone that...
Allow me to correct you. I'm not a Decepticon.
Sure, eyes squint. Mm-hmm. We'll see.
I have played the part of a Decepticon when necessary, but I am not a Decepticon, nor am I an Autobot.
We'll see. Just get the communication done. I only have so much energy for this. And you see these pair of deep green eyes suddenly kind of appear out. You see this funny looking head with two eyes on each side, deep green. It's got kind of a greenish look to it. And he looks down. You sure about this, though? With him? Yes. He's helping us. Just give him the schematics. All right. Fine. I can do this. He swims out further, and you suddenly get the full view of Drift. He's not in a bot form. He's floating there. You've never seen in this thing, it's got like a shell on its back. Fins. But the fins have like engines in them. Or anti-grav
Oh my
motors.
god, is he a sea turtle?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yes,
he's a turtle.
he's a sea turtle. And he floats out like he's in water. That's that whirring sound you were hearing, Gilgamesh. It's literally an anti-grav system in his wings. Or his fins, because he's floating, but he's literally swimming through the air. He floats over to...
flippers.
Yeah, they're literally just the flippers. And you can see him move over. It looks like he's just floating like he's through water. And he kind of swims around you. And he looks back down at Carmen. You sure still? She just rolls her optics. Just do it. I only have so much time here. All right. And he swims up to your head and he looks at you. You do realize if you betray us, dude, I'm going to make sure you're 10 leagues under a mountain of lava that you won't come back from. Understand me,
Fear
dude?
not, Minicon Drift.
Yeah.
I will uphold a promise I made cycles ago.
Fine. You better be sure about this, sis. And he turns around and he literally bumps his head into yours, and suddenly you just you get this influx of information You got it now? And he
Thank you,
swims
Minicon
off
Drift.
into the dark. Whatever. See you around, sis. And she's like, yeah, thank you. Wait, did you just say thank you? Oh my god, dudes. My Cronus would be like, yeah, I got her to break. And he swims off. Oh, shut up. We're done here. And she literally, it's like she snaps her fingers almost, but the image drops. Gilgamesh, she falls back in your hand and she's out. She's not awake now.
All right. I'm just gonna kind of just cradle her a little bit.
Felix kind of looks over. Do you want me to check her out and make sure she's okay?
I think she's just exhausted. I'm gonna go put her on a charge bed.
Yeah, that would be fine. Okay, I'm going to address chat real quick. Yes, he is kind of like from Finding Nemo Crush, okay?
He's Crush, yeah.
But he's Drift.
Yeah.
His name is Drift. That's the help of my son.
And then
who
I was
gave-
like,
with the-
whoa! And then they were like,
Yeah.
whoa!
I haven't gotten there yet. Shut up.
Have you not seen Finding Nemo?
I have. I haven't gotten there yet, though, with him, because I was going to do
Oh,
something
yeah,
similar.
yeah. I get you. I get
Just
you.
like, dude, look. I like making mini cons, dude. This one, I kind of threw in a little Keanu Reeves there just to make sure you understood that he's pretty mellow, dude. Come on. Let's just chill. All right. Yeah. So, yes. You two have met Drift. But in that state, now Void Striker, you have all the schematics that he gave you.
I'm immediately going to start sorting out all the schematics he gave me.
So you've got about 25 different ships in there. You swear they're not all there, the diagrams, like he withheld some information, though, because you can see there's some stuff that's not all there, but it's enough that will help you.
I'm going to, the link that I have with Phoenix, I'm going to start inputting the signatures of Minicon ships.
You hear Phoenix come across. Inputting data now. We'll sort and categorize. And then everything is quiet right now and calm. Aegis is worried about Carbine because he's sitting up more, but he's still weak. And he looks at you, Overload, and he goes, she does a lot sometimes, a little too much. She has good intentions, though, but she worries me when she does things like this.
I can do that.
With the examination pretty much over because not much more can be done, I'm going to gently put the Minicon back in the container. Or in the pod.
Aegis looks over and watches you do that. And he kind of looks at you, Overload. Can you tell him thank you for being respectful to our kind?
It just says thanks.
He just looks at you like, okay, that works.
Your Minicon friend does not need to thank me.
It's all getting to be done since you're still caring and understanding.
You should know just as well as I, Overlord, what they went through during the war.
Maybe I do.
Overload knows more, though, because he's getting images from somebody. But yes, at this point, everything is pretty calm. You put the Minicom back in the pod. The power regulation, Felix is going to monitor the entire time. Gilgamesh, as you're sitting there with Carbine in your arms, are you taking her back to the charge bed? Or
Yep,
you
I'm with the examination done and our business concluded here. I'm just gonna go take her to her charge bed and I'm gonna lay her down on it.
Okay, on your way there, you get a call from Kiara.
Kiara, what have you found?
What have you done? Have you not seen anything? Have you looked at the cortex right now?
I've been a little busy at the moment. What's going on?
Okay, first of all, sweetie, um, you have
That tone
bounties.
already?
Yeah, okay? You have a bounty out on your head of 500,000 Shaniks. You and your big buddy there. What did you do?
Well, as I said in our meeting, we had an encounter with Ava,
Ava?
the
I
spider.
found. Yes, I know who you're talking about, but why did you piss off Shockwave? He wants your bolts.
Well, that's that's a longer story, unfortunately.
Well, a drink isn't going to cover it this time. What? You're going to have to tell me a lot more for that one. Maybe you can come over for a little bit of a sleepover.
You really need to put it that way? I'm fine with coming over and having a discussion, but do you really need to make it so sexual?
For you, yes. Because I love to see you squirm.
Look, I'll swing by here in a little bit. In the meantime, please tell me you have found something.
I found out a lot of stuff. You want me to send it to you, but I would rather give it to you in person.
Fair enough. How far are we from where her house is?
You are not too far.
Okay.
Since you already know the route to get there, you can get there pretty quickly. She comes back with a text, though, that says, stay out of sight. No emojis or anything. In other words, you need to stay hidden the whole time, because at that bounty, you right now are ranking at the top of the list for bounties. Both of you.
Won't be a problem.
See you soon, winky face.
Just eyes rolling into the back of my head,
So, what was that about?
Kiara found some information, and unfortunately I've become the most wanted man on Cybertron.
Both you and Overload. That's who she's referring to.
That's rough, buddy.
You both have 500,000 Shaniks bounty on your head.
He hasn't said that yet for me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, inform him. I want to see what happened.
It seems that both of us are on the wanted list. And I'm going to bring up the image of our bounties that are on the feed.
And that's currently a live feed going on. And
How much is it?
500,000.
yeah, there are 500,000 Shanik bounties on each of you.
Oh, cool. It was higher than the last one.
Glad to see you're so optimistic about this, but we have a larger issue. We're now dealing with Shockwave and Ava simultaneously.
Oh, I thought we hit it off pretty nice with Fuckwave.
Did you hit your head or something in our last combat? I know I was knocked out, but I mean, did you hit your head or something?
Besides, it's not something we should really be worrying about. Of course we have to worry about it, but, I mean, it's probably going to go over soon enough, because, I mean, we're going to have to deal with him soon enough either way.
I'm gonna go see Kiara, and I'm gonna go alone. I'm gonna leave Carbine here on the ship. She needs to recharge. In the meantime, keep an open comm link with me. If anything happens to the ship, let me know.
Phoenix.
Now, are you sure you're not the one that hit your head? It's probably not the best to go alone in a situation. Especially since mostly everyone's gonna want us now.
Overload. I'm really questioning if you did hit your head, because do you remember what I can do?
Yeah, but how many times can you do that?
Enough to get me there and back.
Guess I get to sit by and twiddle my thumbs.
I mean, I'm assuming you're working on the schematics, and I'm assuming you're going to be working on the minicon stuff, unless you had something else in mind.
The schematics is done. I'm just waiting for Phoenix to pick up a signal at this point.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have a bounty, does he?
No, he won't. This
Well,
won't take me long, and hopefully we're going to have more than what we need in information. Just trust me on this one. I'll be back shortly.
I mean, I know a way to get you there pretty quickly.
Oh, I can get there too, but I've got plenty of skills to get me there silently.
No, but I mean, I know a way to get you there without anybody ever seeing you.
Oh no.
I don't. But how would you know where it is? You didn't go with us there.
Because of the way I'm going to get you there, you'll be able to give me directions.
Okay.
Remember, I can make you smaller and me bigger, and I transform into an aircraft.
I can literally go invisible for an hour, and I can go wherever I need to.
Yeah, but it's less suspicious this way. And I actually
Is
get to do
it? I mean, I'm invisible, bro.
Yeah, but this way I get to do something.
All right. I'm not gonna. I won't tell you no on that one.
He's got the ability, and nobody's hunting for him. If you want, you can
And
arrive.
this way, if something does go south, you've also got backup. You know, besides from your friend. That apparently really wants to get in your pants.
Did you really say that to him?
Oh no, I'm saying this all out of
Oh,
character.
okay. I'm wondering if you said that in character. So I'm like, okay. All right, let's go then. I'm just gonna start leading him out to the cargo bay.
All right,
I mean,
next
we're
stop.
already
Next stop, last stop.
Oh, wow. So, as they proceed to go see Kiara, Phoenix is doing a scan,
Yeah,
deep
there we are.
scan, right
Had to put that
now.
in chat for my
Oh, yeah,
Might
to
have
show. Here, I'll scroll it a little bit so anybody can read.
I'll even do one better. I'll disguise my vehicle form.
Oh, my God. There you go. Now you're really hidden. Nobody will even think twice. To be like, whatever. But as you're doing that, Phoenix is doing deep scan out there looking for any minicon material. You guys proceed to Kiara's in disguise. You arrive and you land nearby in an open space that you know she's watching from her window that you guys can't see through. And you know she's watching. And you get a call. Gilly, dear, if that's you, please tell me now before I activate defenses.
It's me. Don't shoot.
All right.
The vehicle is not what you think it is.
And you can hear this. Really? We're Cybertronians. You silly, silly bot.
Well, it's just a little unusual for me to be riding inside of another bot, so...
Ooh, now we're talking this way, aren't we, little one? Starts teasing you. But get in here quickly. I do not need more attention drawn to this area.
Yep, so yeah, I'm gonna exit out of Void Striker's vehicle form, and I'll ask, do you mind if he comes with?
You hear there's like a hesitation. She doesn't respond right away.
All right,
He
fair
can
enough.
come, but he needs to stay at the door.
I just kind of turn and look over at him. I think he might be too big for the door anyway.
I'm gonna once he's out, I'm gonna transform and just reduce my size by a lot. Back to normal and then shrink.
You can shrink down to about his size enough to fit through the door, or overload size at least.
Well, my normal size is just bigger than overload, but I'm going
Yeah.
a size smaller than that.
That probably you'd squeeze in still, but yeah. So you get up to the door. You know how to enter, Gilgamesh. You get in there.
Yep.
You get through. She opens the door, and she has a blaster aimed at you for a moment, and she's like, "I know who
I'm just
you."
kind of got my hands up just a little bit. Just hey.
She puts the blaster next to your head and past you. I know who you are, Void Striker. Don't think your
Kiara.
disguises don't fool me. But he trusts you. And she kind of wraps her arm around you and relaxes the gun. Enough. But if you try anything here, don't. And she kind of gives you a quick kiss on the cheek and she steps back. Come on, get in here. And she flips the gun and lands on her side and she just conceals it back down.
I'm just like gripping my hilt of my sword, just like, God damn it.
One day, but I guess not today.
So get over here, Gilgamesh, and sit. You hear this stern tone. It's a little change. She's sitting at all her screens. She pulls up.
I'm just gonna find an empty chair and sit down.
He can stay over there. And she's just gesturing to you, Void Striker. Go sit down. Whatever. Don't touch anything. And she pulls up the screens.
I'm just simply gonna say I don't see anything here I want to touch anyway.
Good. And she just...
It's all archaic and barbaric setups.
That's coming from somebody who's ancient anyway.
All right. Like, Gilgamesh is pinching his brow at this point, just like, please, can we just get on to the information?
Yes.
What do we know? What's happening?
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't, but she goes, first off, explain this. And she pulls up the bounties. And yeah, Shockwave doesn't put his name on everything, Gilgamesh. Come on. She's using your whole name instead of doing little abbreviations all the time.
He's gonna cross his arms, sit back in the chair. So now I just need
clarification. I know this is gonna be good.
So I just need quick clarification. How long has it been since we accepted the initial mission? How many days has it been?
Let me see. I gotta remember now because I've said it.
I want to, like, if I'm speculating, it's like been like maybe a week.
It's been about just a little over a week, actually. I had to count the days. So you're about a week, say 7, wait. You're about 10 days into it.
Okay.
I might be off.
About 10 days ago, I accepted a job with Overload to acquire pieces of a compass.
You see her eyebrow. Compass?
That's best way I can describe it. Some ancient artifact from who knows how long ago. Over time, we managed to acquire all of the pieces, and once we were going to finish the job, turns out it was Shockwave who was commissioning the job.
Oh, you fool. He doesn't take lightly to being backstabbed. And she just shakes her head and does her fingers to her nose, and she's like,
Kiara, I swear to you, I didn't know he was the one commissioning the job.
I know, you're very careful. So this artifact, and she touches the key closest to her, and an image comes up, and you see your artifact. That artifact?
The very same.
There was word of something he was looking for. This information came up. I figured it'd be worth something to get some info on it. You do realize what that is, right?
I'm gonna put my hand up and goes, I do.
You shut up back there.
You asked a question, I answered.
If you want my answer, no. All I know is that once it was fully assembled, it pointed into a point of void space.
Void
Now,
space.
I had prepared to head there myself, considering I did save the coordinates that were being shown to me by the compass. But once we were attacked, and once Ava made her presence known as Shockwave was contracting her, we were lucky enough to have someone in our midst who was able to do a bait and switch. The compass that Shockwave took from us was a fake. We are in possession of the real one. I have it in a safe place.
So that's why he wants you dead now, and he wants his artifact. Oh, yeah. Okay. This is what I got. This information's been getting scrubbed. So what I have is all I've got. The compass thingy, whatever that is, and then what it came from and does. You do realize its origins? Sorry. Oh, sneeze.
I know very little of what these are. You know that.
There are only so many things out there that are from the ancient times, from the original primes.
Yeah, well, you know I haven't touched anything like that since Cyber Caliber. And I barely even know how that works. I was just merely contracted to acquire it.
And she taps on another key, the other screen flips. Cyber Caliber is supposedly a myth out there, but there are parts of it, supposedly. But
Well, I would know. I was able to steal one.
her eyebrow goes up. You mean that piece that does weird stuff? Yeah, I know about it, but nobody can confirm really. I mean, here's all the information I got, and she starts picking up. It's giving some possible locations of parts of it. She goes, I have all this information. I sell to these guys. They go looking for them. I
Matrix,
get my
there's something
Shanks.
I want to do real quick.
Okay, go for it.
I want to put it one of the locations. Just go. That's fake.
She turns her head slowly. I know it's fake. They don't. And she turns back to you, and that compass you were able to activate. You said you were able to turn it on?
Yeah.
She goes, she sits back for a moment. She pulls up more information.
Is
How-
there something remarkable about that?
Yes, because usually it is only activated by somebody who might be a minicon, or at least some part of them, or at least carry something of them. She pulls up information. It's like a broken tablet. It's a piece of metal, Cybertronian-ish looking. It's a little different looking though, but it's broken text. It says the device can only be activated, at least by what some of the text, by minicon. If that is a minicon relic, you're holding a lot more valuable item than you think.
The first piece we acquired was in a temple, and when I got in proximity of it, it seemed to interact with me. I thought maybe it could be related to my recent transformation, but maybe there's something more to it.
Did anybody else? Is anybody else able to activate this? I need to know.
Above game, wasn't Overload able to activate it as well? Once I
Mhm.
showed him the sequence?
You both did it.
Yeah, my partner Overload was also able to activate it.
That is interesting. The information I got before it got cut off, it shows that only certain bots out there can activate this. But it's primarily Minicon. But it doesn't say anything else really other than that there's a prophecy, but it's very broken and nobody really understands it. Simply about possible, it's not chosen, but it's translated as the chosen ones. And there's something about possible knights, which is such a cliche. We've heard all those stories about Cybertron and their things. Whatever. But this device, if you have it, you either need to give it to him or get rid of it. Otherwise, you're dead. And she puts her hand on your arm. Not in
Kiara,
any
you know
way.
if I do either one of those things, I'm dead anyway.
Her head goes down. I don't need lose another. But
I don't intend on losing to him. This is partially why I need your help. Is because I'm going to need more. But unfortunately, we're fighting a battle on two fronts. We have to deal with one before we can deal with the other. Shockwave, unfortunately, in this case, is going to have to go on the back burner because we cannot face what he's going to bring. Not yet.
she hasn't lifted her head up, but you see a drop hit the floor. She sits up and turns away from you. Yes, let's check out Ava instead. And she pulls up, all the screens change. I'm assuming you know who she is now?
I know who she is now, but we need to know more. Who she's associated to, who are her lieutenants, who are the people who are the clans who have aligned with her. We need to know everything. This is literally going back to the ways of old. We have to go back to what we were doing in the first war. We have to throw. I'm shaking my head. We have to throw the rulebook out the window because she knows all of our procedures. She knows everything that we do. So we have to change the game.
She doesn't turn to you, but she goes, I understand. I do. Here's what I have. He has recently acquired a new lieutenant.
Show me what you have.
She pulls up images.
And I'm just kind of like standing next to her as we're looking over the info.
You start to see images of this large bot, probably about Overload size. Big guy. Kind of buff. You can see on his arms 2 arm cannons. And it looks like he transforms into some kind of battle vehicle of some sort. He's been described as ruthless, destructive, pretty much a psychotic in his own circuit board. Very dangerous. The other one, he was the first lieutenant and only until this one showed up. His name's Torque. The other one is not called Varish. Man, I can't talk.
So wait, which one is which then? So
Torque,
just so I'm clear.
Right now, Torque is the current lieutenant.
Okay.
He's that big guy.
So he's the current first lieutenant, and then
he was
the
brought
other
in.
guy.
He's the new one. Yeah, he's the new one that was just brought in recently. And then there's Varish, who is technically he was the first lieutenant, but now he's been downgraded to, in a sense, a second lieutenant. He's a little less. She's describing all this. He's a little less in brutality. He kind of keeps things organized and in the flow of things, and giving orders to the subordinates of, you do this, don't give any lip, don't give me any problem, or You won't be scrapped then.
Can't imagine he'd be happy with the demotion.
Yes, I agree. There's been word that he's been very disgruntled about it. But
Perhaps we could use that to our advantage then.
yes,
What do we know about him in detail?
and she grins. You can see her kind of turn and grin a little bit to you. She goes, I already got that information. He usually frequents one of the bars in Cybertron. It's not a fancy place, but he goes there on occasion. He usually takes a few guards with him, sometimes 4, maybe 2. Occasionally it's 1, but that's about it. The other times he frequents kind of being out and about Cybertron, checking things out, which has been unusual because his route has changed a bit. Those areas where those guilds have fallen, he's been frequenting, being more a little frequent there. He's flowed through a couple places there. From what we know...
Any idea if he's trying to make any headway with the Rebel Alliance?
That is something that they are against. Right now, what word is that Ava has been uniting those guilds have fallen. But there's also rumors she's the one who took out the heads.
That's why she was able to take out the Koga Guild so easily. She targeted the leadership first. She targeted us first.
Yes.
She knew we would immediately retaliate if she attacked any of the other guilds.
Yes. But we're not completely dead. We still have our hierarchy. That's why she is and has gone after the other weaker guilds, figuring she could build up against and then destroy. She tried that here. And you notice as she puts her hand back up to type, this part of metal on the back of her hand slides back and you see a symbol. It's for the guild, but there's something odd about it. She goes, we have leaders in that. And you see her hand slide back and the cover slides back over. And she goes, we still have our leadership. It is still intact. Just a little newer now. It's not good out there, Gilgamesh. But we can manage if we can take her out.
I noticed that symbol, though, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Your perception's high enough. I don't have to have you roll for it. Because you're
Kiara.
sitting right next to her.
That symbol on your wrist.
She kind of cuffs her hand over. What about it?
Show it to me.
It's just our guild symbol. She kind of and she kind of eyeballs
And it
back
shouldn't
at
be a
Void.
problem for you to show me.
Yes, not you, but him.
As she's looking at
I
you,
will turn my back, so I'm basically giving her the privacy, so he cannot see.
If she's looking at me, I'm just gonna be sitting there, bored, just on my shoulder, randomly switching between Cybertronian symbols like Autobot, Decepticon, Predacon, and Decepticon and whatnot.
She pulls it back. You see the symbol on her back of her hand. It's the symbol of the guild, but the other mark with it indicates leadership status. She's one of the new leaders. One of many. There's always redundancy, Gilgamesh, and she's saying it quietly. She slides it back over and puts it back into place. There's always redundancy. Ava's been in different places. She kind of she quickly switches conversation. She's been in multiple places on Cybertron, but she's been off planet a few times too.
Do we have any idea where?
She goes off. Nobody knows exactly where. Some have tried to follow her They never came back.
Well, with that in mind, then, we can safely assume she's gathering outside forces from outside Cybertron. She's amassing a large amount of power. And I'm assuming to the only end that is logical for her is to dominate all of Cybertron.
Yes, that is very true. She is. I will help you in any way I can, Gilgamesh. She cannot take over. And if this Torque is now her new lieutenant, she turns to you, puts her hand on your leg. You need to be careful. She's like optic to optic with you. You need to be really careful.
Agreed.
Then she kind of turns, and she's now, the screens behind her all go blank, and she turns and faces you, Void Striker. So, I know of you, Void Striker.
I'd be
You're
disappointed if you didn't.
You're supposed to be dead. And she kind of holds up her hands jokingly. What, thousands of times now? How many has it been?
I stopped counting after 20,000.
I heard it was 50, but all right. The rumors can fly all they want. And she kind of gets up, she walks over and sits across from you. What is your intent with them? She starts acting kind of more protective of you and questioning like a mother or something. It's like,
While she's doing that, I'm gonna kind of hunker over to the bar and I'm gonna go make myself a drink.
You're gonna have to be more specific with your questioning.
in other words, what do you want with them? Why are you rolling with Gilgamesh?
I just say from the bar, I could really answer that if you want me to.
He can answer for himself, can't he? Her tone becomes more curt. She's just,
We
Answer
are
my
the
que-
ones who asked for his help.
You can ask for somebody's help, but they always want something in return. And she's just staring at you, optics kind of blazing look to him, just watching you.
Do you truly wish to know what I'm after?
I'll find out eventually, since now I know you're here.
You don't have to go digging that far. I'm willing to tell you if you truly wish to know.
She sits back. Oh, really now? What's in it for you, though, if you tell me?
Absolutely nothing.
Oh, you're adorable. But I'll take the information anyway.
Long story short, I'm here to make up for a mistake that should never have happened.
What mistake is that?
That you'll have to dig for. But I'm just... If you want a hint, you're going to have to search for an incident before the Golden Age War.
Interesting. Information like that's harder to come by, but you're fascinating. You want a drink?
While they're conversing, I'm silently gonna send a message to Phoenix just asking for an update.
Phoenix comes back across with a message back to you. It's pretty much stating finding weak signals further out, some closer but not viable, nothing that's matching with what you're needing and looking for. But the signals that are possibilities are further out.
So, this is... I was what's I'm talking to this person, because don't really know their name.
Kiara.
This is
Okay. So I'm guessing you are an information broker.
information product sometimes. Yes.
I am after specific information. In return, I can give you information that I've collected over my cycles.
She leans forward. She gets a little closer to you. Information is money around here, and I'll take the Shenix anywhere I can get it. At this point, you are a myth, and any information you have is very valuable. What do you need?
Potential locations of either remnant minicon technology or ships.
She stops. Other than that, most of that information has been scrubbed. But she taps on her arm console from where she's at. The screens pop up. There's a few, but it's only been rumored. It's out in a space that nobody goes to anymore because it's just the void. It's empty there. That's about your
It's
only location.
better than nothing.
There are rumors of some labs having them, but you would have to deal with somebody who is a little upset with somebody, and she's tipping her head back, looking kind of over top at you, Gilgamesh. You don't want to mess with that too much.
I'm familiar with Shockwave,
Good.
just as he is familiar with me.
So for that little bit of information, do I get a little something back?
I'm just going to give her like 3 pages of like one of my early journals that is written in ancient Cybertronian.
She looks at it. She goes, "This is way more payment than what I asked for. So I will do this."
Consider it an investment for future.
Oh, an investment. I like that. She grins at you. She puts her hand on your arm. I like you. Your information is good, and I'm really glad to meet a myth, a legend, um, something, someone who hasn't been seen in a very long time. I will take this information.
Seen and identified are completely different scenarios.
Very true. And she stands up, walks over to the table, puts the information down. You can see something scanning it in instantly. If you need more information, let me know. I will get it for you. What you gave me is worth a good amount. Did you still want to drink, Void Striker? I mean, Gilly is standing at the bar. I think he'd be more willing to whip something up.
No,
I'm just sitting behind the bar, just sipping my beverage. Just...
Oh. Well, Gilly, I think it is. If there's anything else you need from me, I will keep you apprised of situations here. Agreed? But you have to do the same for me. And
There's one other thing I am gonna need before I do leave, and that's the information on that second lieutenant.
I will send you it right now. And she hits a button. You get stats information, when he was, where he was, how he was. That is as much information as I can give you because that's all I've got. Supposedly he's a very old bot. Similar to your buddy there, Overload. Not as old as this one, and she looks at Void Striker winking at you. And then she turns
If you
back.
keep staring at me that hard, you're gonna be staring at the cogs.
Ooh, tempting. That's she's sitting there.
That
she-
was not an invitation.
She turns back to get you, Gilgamesh, and she's like, "But the information is there." She gets closer to you, and she's face to face with you. Just be careful, Gilgamesh, please. And she hugs you, and it's just a genuine hug. I don't want to lose another.
I hug her back and say, I have no intention of losing.
Just be careful. And she pulls back and she puts her hand on her face. Be careful. Now get out of here.
Thank you, Kiara, for everything. And I'm gonna walk past her and stand on the Void Striker, just give him a little
Let's
nod in the
go.
direction of the door, just like, let's go.
As we leave, I'm gonna leave a device on the table. A gift. And leave.
She yells at you. Is it gonna explode?
No.
She picks it up, and you can kind of hear. What is it? Just kind of curious.
Use it next time you're trying to communicate. You'll find out.
Oh, I see. Thank you, Void Striker. And you can swear you're getting stared at, but not in the bad way, just more of she's checking you out. And you hear the door
I'm
close.
gonna put my hand on Gilgamesh's shoulder, just give the sympathetic look, just like, yeah, let's go.
As we leave, I'm just going to look over to him. Yeah, you need to be careful with that one.
All right.
I thought they were bad in my day.
So as you two are going, made your way there, did your stuff, and you're going to be on your way back. We're going to switch over to Overload. Overload, you had Aegis in your hands. He's still kind of conscious. What are you doing right now?
I was gonna get him to like a, I guess a recharge station if he's tired.
Yeah, he's pretty energized out. He's still awake though, but he's kind of sitting in your arms and he's going, "This is awkward. I don't like being carried like this." And
I think I feel.
at least I like you a little more than I did before, right? And he kind of thumps lightly on your chest with his hand.
Sure.
I just need some rest. I'll be fine. Not as much as my sister does. So what's next, Overload? What are we doing?
All that fully depends on the information we get. We got Ava to take care of. We're still going to deal with Sound Blaster, especially with our bounty. Well, my bounty and Gilgamesh's.
He just looks at you. You guys get into some severe trouble around here. This is fun.
To be fair, most of the time it's not our fault.
Uh-huh. And he's just grinning at you, kind of tired looking, and he's exhausted. Yeah, not your fault. Uh-huh.
I said most of the times.
Most, yeah. And he thumps you on the chest again, like, yeah, don't worry, I'm having fun with it too. You guys get back to the quarters. He doesn't transform into his bird form. He just kind of, like, if you don't mind, I'm just going to lay in your charge bed if it's okay. And he just kind of just sits there and you can see him falling asleep. Like he's literally going to stand by.
I don't know how that feels.
So he's like, he just curls up a little bit, but he's just asleep. He's out like a light charging. You hear Phoenix coming across the comms. Sensors are nominal. Nothing to indicate any possible hostile activity. And it's very quiet because he's trying to be quiet. And he's just monitoring everything around the ship right now and inside, but he's still scanning out further and he's trying to reach out. But you are sitting on one side of the Cybertron, so you're getting kind of blocked there. Just not the side that's pointing in the direction you need, which was odd. Felix
Good
is
job
down.
as always.
Felix reports up to you, Overload. The mini cons are stabilizing out. They're actually doing really well now, but they do still need something better. Is there anything you need me to do? I'm gonna probably go and start up a recharge because I've been running for a while.
You've done quite enough for today.
You can kind of hear Mike run on the back of the transmission. I'll be here still. I'm not tired yet. And Felix just, well, somebody will be here directly. I'll still have my alert on my comms. But I'm off. If you need me, you know where I'm at. And he's off. So he goes back to his quarters. You kind of hear little voices up in the galley. No, my Nana is better than yours. No, mine is. And you hear a fourth voice. No, mine is better. Look. And you're sitting there arguing over Nanunas. The triplets and blend. You can just hear them Overload arguing.
I always think
Deja
are
vu.
calmer.
Well, look at this one. It's funny looking. It's got a funny color and it rolls, but it smells funny.
Wait, funny looking rolls.
You just hear them discussing.
What are they touching? now I'm worried. Oh.
Here, you look at it. You get up there. You start seeing them rolling some kind of orangish looking ball like thing, rolling back and forth on the table in the galley. And they're like, "Here, you look at it. Smell it. It smells weird." And they see you come into the doorway, and they're like, you hear the triplets, "Hi, Captain." Then Blend, "Oh, hi, Captain," all at the same time, and it's like Blend is starting to sound more like they are.
What are you up to?
Funny looking orange thing. Look, and he holds it up, and he's just sitting there. It's like, look at it. It smells funny.
Now is it an actual orange or a nano orange?
It's orange colored, but here's the kicker. You're gonna have to find out what's inside of it.
Where the hell they even get that thing?
Look,
Yeah.
Captain, look! They're holding it up.
I actually got to fucking inspect it. I more likely know where it is.
Kevin's still sitting up there, and he goes, "Don't ask me. I don't know where they got it from. I don't even know where it was." I'll make you roll an investigation on it.
Big bucks, no whammies.
Alright. Dumb powers prevail. Alright. So it would be a perception or insight?
Let's do insight. I want to see what you know if you know it.
24.
Oh my God. He did it.
Yeah. Dumb power.
So you pick it up and you're just like, you're looking at them, and you know it's a nano orange. It's another fruit, but it says energon fruit. You lean down with it and you go, "Oh no, it smells a little funny, but it's delicious inside." You cut, like you're taking your fingers and you're cutting it open, and you open it up. It's not orange inside though. It's got like a purple look to it. And you peel out a piece and you set a piece in front of each of them. And they're looking at it, and when you see one of them poke it, what do we do with it? I thought it was a ball.
I'm just gonna pop one in my mouth.
And you see all 4 of them lean back. Ew. You eat it?
I'm not sure.
And it's the one of them pokes it. Blinn picks it up, sniffs it. Still smells funny. Timmy's like, fine. And you. The other 3 are like, what? They all 3 pop it, the rest. They're all sitting there with their mouths full. And you see them all turn. These are good. We got to get more. Can we get more, Kevin? Kevin, can we get more? Can we get more? And he's like, whoa. Okay. I will, next time we're somewhere where we can get some more, I'll get you some as a treat. But you got to calm yourselves. He starts freaking out a little like, whoa. Yay! They're all happy. But for now, you can have a Nanu Nut. Nanu Nuts are not that great now. I want the Nanu Orange. Captain, can we get more Nanu Oranges? And you see Gun. He's just sitting there rocking like a little kid. Can we get more? And kicking his legs.
Soon.
All right. Can we get him soon then?
I'm just gonna place the remaining on the table and see what happens.
Where are you placing it?
I'm just putting it in the center. See who goes for it first.
They all look at it and then they look at each other. You see them all scramble to the table. I want a piece. I want a piece. You see suddenly Timmy has it up in his hand. He runs out of the room and down to the engine room. And you see the other 3 scrambling out. Give us a piece. We want a piece.
Chaos has been made.
You just hear them yelling and screaming down there. At this point,
I'll keep them distracted for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, at this point, Overload, you hear a ship, and you can kind of see through the front port windows from where you're at. You can see, hey, that looks familiar. I wonder who that is. You see Void Striker landing. And the boys are back.
I'll just salute them down.
You open up the cargo bay door, and they're back at the ship. Now,
Welcome back, you
we
two.
have more.
How's me and Kiara?
I'm looking awkwardly over at Voice Striker. We got our information and a little more.
Figured as much.
Just cold staring at Void Striker. Anyway, let's go up to the galley. We'll discuss everything up there.
So you all make your way to the galley. Kevin's cleaning off the table from the Nano Orange. And he's like, oh, give me a second, I'll have the table cleaned off. It's a little sticky now.
Scamper will help him.
So he's
I will
Scamper.
use
Thanks, little buddy.
prestidigitation to help him clean the table.
Yeah, he buffs off the rest. Oh, thanks. It was a mess. Sorry, the little ones. And he looks down past all of you down to the engine room. Got a little out of hand, and he looks at Overload. Out of hand, and just turns and walks behind.
Mo from Wally.
Mo.
Yeah, Scamper's just gonna do a Mo and just follow the sticky trail.
And he goes down on the floor, and you just see this little trail as it gets quieter. And then you hear 4 little voices. Oh, little bot! Whether you get Scamper back.
Gilgamesh is silently questioning why is it our crew has suddenly turned into a daycare center.
Hey, it's your crew. I'm just here for the ride.
No, he's silently doing. I didn't say nothing out
Yeah.
loud. He's internal
Well, why would I
monologuing
get out of
like
character?
he's internal monologuing this.
So Kevin just like, yeah, you guys need anything to eat? You hungry, thirsty? I got food.
I just had a snack, thank you. I'm just looking right at him.
And he's looking over at you like, yes, Captain. Do the rest of you need anything? As he slowly pans his head back the other way.
I'll take an energon cube.
And he goes, we'll arrange that. Gilgamesh, sir,
Do
do you
you
need
need
anything?
the cube? Because I can make one.
No, you're on board the ship, so he can make up stuff there. But he,
I'll just take a meal of whatever you made for the day.
all right, perfect. I've got some fresh stuff done up here right now. It's kind of like, almost like, it looks like almost like some kind of pasta, but it's an energon noodle, and it's got some interesting flavoring to it, some nice spicing. Not real
Oh,
strong, but
some
just nice.
yakisoba.
Yeah, there you go. See,
Nano
Dude,
soba.
nano so much. Not everything's nano.
Too bad it is now.
Oh god, he's named it. We're done. Okay, sorry, that's what it is now. So he brings you over a nice dish of that, and he gets a energon cube out, and he goes, "Sir Void Striker, do you want this in a cup, bowl, or do you just want it whole?"
I'll take it whole.
Brings it over, and he sets it down on a plate for you, and he goes, "Let me know if you need anything else. I'll be cleaning up and doing some stuff."
I'm
back
just
here."
gonna stick a straw in it.
All you hear. He's like, "We do have straws. Do you want the spirally one? They're really fun to play with."
No, we'll just get it off straw. That's all I did.
Oh, good. The little ones will fight you over it, so I have to keep it hidden. So you're all sitting in the galley. Discuss.
So, what was your discoverings this time?
Well, we've learned a little bit about Ava's inner workings and who she's working with. Apparently,
You
she's
tell.
acquired a new first lieutenant, someone she, well, gave a hefty promotion right off the bat. Someone by the name of Torque. The other was a
Damn
second
it.
lieutenant. Sorry.
I know that guy.
You do.
Yeah.
No, it seems he's found himself in a high position among their new guild. But we're not going to target him. We're going after the second lieutenant who was recently demoted in place for this one. Now, I forgot his name above game. What did you say it was? Because I didn't get it.
Which one is it that you were talking about?
The second lieutenant.
Oh, Varish. It's
Varish.
Yeah,
Varish.
Yep.
Okay. Just getting that for my notes.
Yeah, sorry, I completely forgot about it.
No, yeah, that's fine. I forgot to ask it
I have
in
it
the
written.
moment there too, so that's on me. But
Also lost my pencil. Too,
the second lieutenant Varish, he was recently demoted in place for Torque, and his behavior has been changing. We may have a chance to appeal to him for information. If you want my opinion on what we should do, I suggest we focus on Varish. Follow his roots, know where he goes, and he tilts his head a little bit as he says, appeal to him.
Well, Varish is a soldier, yeah? Or at least was.
Yes.
Above game, I would have this information in that
Yes.
file that was given to me. So yeah,
Yes.
I'm just gonna basically just
He was
put
a-
this up on like a hollow screen and just to have him
Yeah.
scroll through the information.
Yeah, what it will state is he was a soldier, but in a sense, he follows orders, but to his own means. So he kind of picks and chooses sometimes, but he does follow the order, just not exactly the way you'd think it would be done sometimes. And he's not a very good soldier by any means, but at least he does what he wants him to do.
So while Overload's reading this, I'm just going to chime in. He's an ex-soldier who has a history of insubordination.
I'm gonna quickly do something in hopes. 13. Damn.
Hey, you might get something still.
He finds out nothing. No, I'm kidding. You, Overload, you wouldn't know him directly, Barish at least, because he was a soldier at one time. But you've heard of him. Not a very good one.
I mean,
but eh.
Yes, do it. Yes.
Okay, so you know of the soldier. You've never met him directly, but you know of him, and you've heard from other units at the time. And he's not as old as you are, Overload, or Torque, but he is around that era of the fights, the battles, the war that was going on. But he wasn't highly looked upon at all. He made a name of kind of being a bit of a coward, too.
So, by some standard, he was someone that wasn't looked on as much, but he got results, in a sense.
Got results, but not a lot of times the results that he was given orders to go do. Because it was one of those, what's in it for me kind of attitude. And I should be listened to. I should be the one in charge. I know what I'm doing, but he really doesn't know what he's doing. He knows how to command a certain amount, but that's it. He's kind of a bit of a pain in the ass.
So we know he's got an
this
issue
is-
with authority, and he's been having some minor spats within the current guild.
And what it does say on the documentation that you all read is that he is currently, yes, second lieutenant, and it's questionable on why he got demoted down, because nobody knows really why. He's a scheming, underhanded little weasel, is what it's been coined as. Now I can see.
He seems like the ideal target to persuade.
Yes. And the best part is, I know exactly how to make him turn.
Kukumas just kind of looked to Overload. Go on.
This man, from what I've heard and what I've read so far, he only tends to go for what he's able to gain from. Not only that, he likes to have power. With his recent demotion, it's going to make him more irritated, especially for someone that wasn't even part of the guild, to just suddenly get a better promotion than him.
I was thinking the same thing. The fact that he just got overstepped by Torque so quickly suggests either he did something that upset Ava, forcing the demotion, or something Torque gave her that propelled him into the position he's in.
And
Either way, it's not going to be good for our friend Varish here.
And considering his background, from what I know, no one really liked the way he's done his work when he was ordered something. But he still got the results, some better than what would have happened, and yet he was not recognized for it. I can use that to play a bit of strings. And with me being an old acquaintance of Torque, I can possibly make it so he can have a bit of an advantage to get under Torque's skin.
So do you want to be the one to try to persuade him?
Yes. This seems like something perfect for me.
Very well. This will give me a position to act as what I do.
And if the chances arise, I could even talk to Torque and
Oops.
persuade him in a different way.
You think you could persuade Torque?
Not to our side, but to be a bit more reckless. I've known him for quite a bit. And honestly, I know what makes him tick. So,
But you
if I
don't see your... And he kind of gestures to your scratched up symbol. You don't believe your alignment change might give him cause for pause?
to him, alignment allies don't quite matter to him. What he cares for is the brutality of what comes from it.
I was more suggesting more of your AWOL status to the Decepticons.
Oh, if it wasn't for him, well, if it wasn't for his tendencies, he'd probably have gone AWOL quite a bit a while too. But he stuck around because it was beneficial. He was given more of a chance to fight. And now that he's part of this guild, he doesn't exactly have an alliance towards Decepticons to say. He can target them freely now. So what says there being an opportunity for such?
Fair enough. Well, then we've got a couple of choices then. And I'm going to bring up the part of the file that suggests where the places he frequents. And what would those be?
They were the bar that's on Cybertron, and then there's the couple of the areas where the guild is not exactly stable, but he's been frequenting down that way, but nobody knows what he's doing down there.
We can attempt to appeal to him publicly in the bar he frequents, or, and this is going to be a little more dangerous, we can go into these areas where he's been frequenting where the guilds have taken the most damage.
It's better off we go to the dangerous. Although, publicly speaking, it would be advantageous for us. If things go south, he wouldn't be able to really attack us. While in that area, he would have open range if we messed up once. But if we're in his territory, he might let loose a bit, which could make it more advantageous to us instead of him.
Well, I do tend to agree. It's just the lone factor here is if we are going to confront him in one of these guild locations, we don't know which one is loyal to the uprising guild or the ones who are rebelling. We're walking into an unknown if we do that. The bar would be a public area, so it would less likely attract the wrong kind of attention, but either way, it's not going to be ideal. But where do you think would be best? Both sides present a disadvantage one way or another. We just have to choose the lesser of two evils.
Well, no matter which location you decide, our first step should be upgrading all of the equipment. I just need materials to do so.
Well, we do have one thing going for us if we do, and he points to the gilded areas. We do have one advantage if we do choose this area, though. I can get up to the rooftops and act as sniper. if things go south, and hopefully they don't, I can act as Overwatch.
That will definitely be good.
This way, he only sees you. He only believes it might be working with you. It eliminates any unneeded exposure, and to be honest, I'm not entirely sure how people are going to view me, especially walking around the streets of Cybertron again with a large bounty on my head.
Well, believe me, they're going to eyeball you down.
They already do, but now they have a reason to. A 500,000 Shenix reason to. If you want my opinion, I'd say we should take one of the gilded areas that has high rooftops. One that can give me a clear vantage point from the meeting.
Hopefully.
So above game, which of these guild locations would offer that?
Pretty much almost. Well, there's the way I have the map layout and for everything. It is 2 of them would really be good for it. They're the ones that have been most recently upheaval of command and everything. So the one is close to where your guild is located, because yes, it looks like it's upheaval, but really the guild is actually still intact. That's why it's not completely decimated there. But the one next to it has tall buildings, the area, because it shares a borderline with it. And then there's one, it's actually the one where he goes and frequents at times. It's right near that too. There's a couple large buildings. Not in the greatest shape, but they're there.
Question: how good is your sniper scope?
Boys, carbines.
Yeah, I'm pulling carbine sheet right now, so I can tell you.
Yeah, no problem.
Let's see, mounted variable scope, 10 to 20x zoom. So
How would she feel about an upgrade?
How big of a scope are we talking? Because the scope isn't necessarily going to be the issue, it's going to be the range.
I've got a fix for that too.
Well, when she's awake, we'll discuss that, because we are going to need time to plan and prepare. The Minicons do need to recharge anyway,
if you
especially.
truly want the high ground, I can give you the high ground, and I'm pretty sure I'm more stable than any building.
Personally, I would agree to it, but it's going to be up to her. So, again, we'll discuss that once the Minicons have had their recharge and had time. But
Yeah,
I would be perfectly fine with it, so long as she is.
As I said, the only problem is we need to get the materials in order to do any upgrade to any equipment.
No, we have a lot of material still in storage. I'm not sure if it's everything you'll need, but we are on Cybertron. We can always go out and acquire something we were missing. I mean, at least you can anyway. I looked Overload. I'm not sure we're gonna be good to go outside for a while without camouflage. In the meantime, he goes back over to the map. I suggest we look into these areas, and he's going to point to the one closest to the Koga Guild and the one adjacent to it. Here, at least, we might have people who might be a little less forward with the Rising Guild. We may even find allies there.
My suggestion would be the one neighboring, because if this is the remains and they believe your guild isn't there anymore. they might still be wary of remnants, and if this person is aware of Overload's affiliation with you, probably not the best place.
Well, you really shouldn't know unless, well, no, you're probably right. With the recent bounty on both of our heads on there as high as they are, it'd be hard to think we're not paired together. Even I would think that if I was reading this.
Considering they are both bounties from Shockwave, it's only logical to assume.
Agreed. I'm on board with that idea then. We hit the neighboring one. Somewhere in the middle where we might find people who are neither for or against.
And with that, the ship gets an explosion and gets rocked on its side, and you lose part of the ship. I am so joking. I am messing with you guys again. No, at this point, we're going to end session a little early today. I don't even know if it's early. I haven't looked at the timer. I just did. It's a good point.
Looks
Just-
early compared to where we ended.
Yeah,
podcast.
it is
Like,
fairly early.
That's all right.
3.5
We're
hours.
Yeah, it's
that's
been
okay.
awesome. And this is a good spot to pause and stop here because I don't want to drain you guys out for the next session. Plus,
Dude, with what I've just set up, there's plenty to do next session.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
So at this point, your mini cons are charging up. You've met kind of in limbo in the tranquil state the other mini con that is sitting known as Drift. It's not Crush, it's Drift. And he is the engineer, as you found out. But you guys have a lot of stuff now going on. How are you
Yeah,
all
tell
feeling
me.
with it?
I still haven't even finished cross-referencing the new Minicon data with what the data Phoenix has.
Yeah, because there's a ton of it.
Yeah.
Because he's processing, and he's doing it faster than you guys will do, but it's going to take him a little bit of time because there is a lot of information that he has to go.
He
Oh
should
my
be doing
God.
it pretty quickly with the information I've given him.
Yeah, and so he's trying to keep up and do all that right now. So yeah, he's got that, and so yeah.
Also, I have to say about your friend Dave, by the way, the information broker. I feel like if I go down a dark alleyway with her, I'm coming out with, show me where on this doll she touched me.
Yeah, and she's supposed to have a sister, relationship with me.
Sounds like a relationship from Japan, bro.
Yeah, see, I gave Matrix here
when
a
the
rough
tentacles
idea of
start
who
showing up,
Kiara
you go to the
is.
door.
I gave him a rough idea of who Kiara is, and this is what he turned her into. So. Because I'll tell you this, I did not ask her to be this forward.
Hey, at
So
least,
that's what Matrix shows for
at
her.
least
So.
you know 50 Shades of Cybertronian.
She's
Or
not going to
Lost
go
the
that far.
Argonian Maid.
And she just in her character, she just does it to get him going and make him very uncomfortable, and she does it on purpose because she knows she can. My fun moments. And then I got the mini cons who you got to meet Drift.
All I have to say about Drift is I like turtles.
Dude, what's up?
And then I was like, whoa. And then I'm like, whoa.
I was
Whoa.
yeah. I was like, whoa. Then I was like, whoa.
I'm surprisingly
It's like,
thinking
wow.
straight for somebody who's been up for 24 hours.
No, you're not. You're fine.
You say that, and then an hour later, you're going to crash.
Oh, I have no idea at the moment I leave this chat. I am gone.
Okay, he's got to leave his mic on, and I'm going to leave it streaming, and we're going to call it the ASMR snoring stream because we got to get him snoring.
I don't know. You might hear me stop breathing due to
Oh.
asthma and shit.
Well, that'll keep people alive. Oh my God, is he
Well,
already?
you'd
Oh,
be
okay.
surprised. There are like thousands of people that just tune in for sleeping streams. No
I
matter
know.
the gender, just
Yes,
go there.
Galaxy Star. I saw that earlier. Minicon Army. Don't make me start there. Don't give away my plans. I'm making a Minicon Army here. Now you're giving it away. No. Yes, I have. Yes, I like my mini
One of us
cons.
turns into Soundwave. Minicon eject. Minicon eject. Minicon eject. Minicon
Yeah.
eject.
How did you know I do that? Eject, eject, eject. Come on, come on. You go. It's like a little aircraft carrier of mini cons, but they're all eject, eject,
Dude,
eject,
don't
eject, eject,
bloody
go.
tempt me.
So yeah, I mean, yeah, I do like my mini cons. So it's like, yeah.
Minicons are awesome. They're never used right in role plays and other stuff, which is why I'm enjoying yours.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. What did you guys think of Drift? I mean, yeah, other than his attitude.
I like
He's-
Drift because
Whoa.
it's showing
Yeah.
the fact that you're giving each minicon drastically different personalities. I love it.
Yes, they are literally supposed to be.
Whoa.
Aegis is supposed to be more serious, more of a guard type. Kind of fits with Overload. Carbine, she's curious, but also very nervous. Not really trained in a lot. She knows how to do, but she also doesn't know how to control herself. Whereas Gilgamesh does, and he's teaching her to balance herself. Is Drift? Drift is Drift, man. It's like totally, dude.
Whoa, bro.
Yeah, they're fun. I like doing the mini cons because it's either that or I would do a big bot, but that won't fit in this. So I mean, and the big bot would be like Metroplex size, so we're talking Titans, and I could do stuff with that. But the mini cons are my faves. I like them because they're small, and I always carried them around when I was a kid. So
Galaxy Dark Queen, good luck with your OC minicon.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see it when it's done.
Send me a picture. I'll post it. Look what she did. Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry.
Don't send it to Matrix. Send it to the mighty Potato Lord. He will gift you potatoes.
Oh, jeez. If you like
An
potatoes,
entire sack of potatoes.
he'll still send you a potato. How's that? But no, I wanted to introduce
I'll even sweeten
Drift,
the deal
so-
and make it a sweet potato.
But you guys don't get to use Drift really. He's just in this state of tranquil moment. That's why he doesn't come out. He's like,
I'm just
"Oh,
wondering,
dude."
how is it you got like the most stony dude to be an engineer?
Because surprisingly, they learn quite well, and I'm speaking from experience. One of my friends is an absolute stoner, and he has all his engineering shit done already.
Yeah, you're just gonna have to maybe ask one of those mini cons you guys have. Who the heck is this guy, and why is he like that?
At some point, I will decipher the minicon language.
Or you know what? Dave and I were talking. We might have a Q&A, and if you guys want to jump in for the different streams, yeah, we'll sit there and have a Q&A for both the campaigns, and sit there and just maybe do that over the holidays here, because with the holidays coming up, and also the schedule might change a little bit. We're gonna figure it out, and I'll post it in the Twitch schedule. So, and I'll try and keep everyone up to date on it. We might have to change a little bit of time because somebody, I am very happy to say, has his job now. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I am very happy. I like it's like, yes. So we'll just
you
have
gonna
to
turn into Mr. Krabs? I like money.
I like money. I can't do
I
it.
like
Why did you do this? Money.
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 Money. Yes, we want money. Oh God, I'm gonna do it. Okay, I gotta stop. But no, yeah. So we'll adjust the schedule per that and figure it out. Again, down on Twitch schedule, I'll repost times and adjust for things when we get things set up again. But for now, we're gonna try for next week. Well, not next weekend. We'll adjust next weekends and see what happens.
Yeah,
We'll
we're
see.
we're gonna have to because we may end up doing a earlier start time on Sunday, or we may end up changing days, just
Oh
depending
god, an
on
earlier start time.
Yeah,
not well. Yeah,
yeah, just for you,
unfortunately,
just for you.
be-
That's it. Just for you, Potato Lord. We're gonna do that on you. Just
well, no, because Sundays I'll be starting this job, so I'm only gonna have
Yeah.
until 4 p.m. my time to be able to really do this on Sundays, unless we're willing to change days, which we're gonna have a big discussion about that to see what everyone's kind of comfortable with.
yeah.
But
Sorry, starts super early for me. My vote's for a different day.
I mean, yeah, like I said, we're gonna figure it out just because, yeah, I don't want to have to step away from this or anything like that. I do certainly want to
I
continue to do
get that. The
this.
changing of
Yeah.
scheduling is a pain for everybody, and
Yeah.
especially when the group wants to stick together. And
Well, the other thing is it's because I'm part of 2 campaigns. I DM the other one, and
Yeah.
and speaking of that, just so everyone's going to be aware, we're only going to have one D and Destiny session this month, just because the following week that would precede it is going to be Christmas Day, and that's the day that
Yay.
we're kind of discussing if we want to just kind of have a just chatting Q&A, because I don't know who's all going to be available, and we just want to kind of relax and just kind of talk about our 2 campaigns, ask questions, and answer questions if anyone posts them, and just kind of have a general discussion, just shooting the shit for
And
Christmas Day.
And you might just see some of my childish drawings that I made of different things that these guys end up with, because I have pictures of stuff, and
I would like the mighty +99 wooden stick.
you already have it, don't you know? Did you lose it in the backyard
Well,
again?
I'm still waiting for the stats of the goddamn combiner gun I took.
Shut up about that. I haven't done anything with it because I'm like, he's not going to get to use it this session. No, I'm going to make sure he doesn't get to use it because I'm like, because that's a big gun. Yes, you're a big bot, but that's still a big
I've
gun.
also shrunk it, remember?
That's right. Yes, but still, that's a gun that's got some kick to it.
Dude, I will increase my size so it classes as a sidearm.
Oh my god, no.
Because with my firearm expertise, I can fire it off with a reaction.
Let's... Oops. Uh-oh, I just messed that up. Oh my god. Oh, I love the tree. We're not putting one up this year because we're just, even my son's like, do we have to? We don't have a lot of room in our house, so. But I love the tree.
Yeah, it's all taken up by Transformers from what
And
I've
you
heard.
did get Blur too. I see it. Oh my god. Oh man, I wish I could do my tree like that. All Transformers up there. Have them fighting in the tree. But then we're worried about the cats we have because this.
Oh yeah, the cats would immediately take that down.
Yeah, so I'm like, there goes parts of my Transformer. No. But no, I will say right now, I did pick up. Dave knows this. I did pick up somebody for like $5, and from the Beast Wars line, and that is Waspinator, which I'll probably open up on a short stream along with.
Good old Waspinator.
Yeah, I got them for like $5. So. But I got the die-cast Transformers that I will open up too, because I showed them, but I didn't open them up. And I'll do that later on. Probably, I might try and shoot for sometime this week. We'll see. But I love that picture of the tree, Galaxy Star. That's
Hey,
cool.
if you're gonna make a Christmas wish, can you make sure you wish for an actual good Transformer game?
Sorry, I can't help you there. Look it.
Not
just
even
because I'm
Primus could help me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, even Unicron's like, haha, you're funny. Do you want to try again?
It's like the whole meme. I want a dragon for Christmas. Ask for something more realistic. A good Transformer game. What color do you want in your dragon?
Yeah.
I do have Coronation Starscream. He's sitting in the container though, along with a lot of the new ones I have because I don't have the room to put them up. Although I am rearranging stuff, so eventually maybe I'll have a camera set up to show some of the stuff I have, some of even the G1, but that'll be eventually. So, but do you guys have anything to plug? User Redacted doesn't get plugged anymore. We just
User redacted.
yeah, that's loud. It scared the crap out of me. The Potato Lord is just a potato, so that's his plug.
Praise the mighty potato lord in return. You shall have the mightiest of potatoes.
I'm just going to change this picture to a potato with a crown
I
on
mean,
it.
yes, like a coronation Starscream, but a potato.
Potato sitting on the throne.
Can somebody Photoshop a potato with coronation Starscream's crown on it?
Ah! My
I'm
God.
sure someone could
Oh,
do it.
good. Probably one out there somewhere too, which would be hilarious. And we got Space Ghost Dave. He streams on and off here and there, but lately he hasn't because I know I'd see the ping eventually. But he does stream every once in a while. He does have a Twitch channel, and the link is down below in the channel. As soon as User Redacted ever gets his stuff going, I'll put his link down there too to harass him.
I honestly just need to know, like, I need a day I can figure out when I can actually stream.
I can arrange that.
I just need to figure a day I can actually stream.
Coronation
Yes.
potato.
You find a day and then you pick some time to do it, like 1 or 2 hours, and then get used to it and then work in any problems or details. And we're here to help. We can throw things at you and harass you and go, man, this sucks. No. This user redacted it. It sucks.
I just delete my channel right then and there.
But
Hey, you never know. Twitch might do it for you.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
Go out in style, right? Oh,
Do a Twitch fan speedrun. Let's go.
But yeah, the links are down below. If you go to because this will be uploaded to the YouTube channel. If you go over there, you will find all the past episodes of both our Destiny campaign that Dave runs and DMs there, and also the Transformer one, which I run, and it's there too in the playlist. They have their own. And then I have the box openings. You can find all that, but there's the links up above. They will also take you to Dave's channel as well as Sort of Bar Podcast and a few of their things. They do their own Transformers campaign, which I need to catch up on a couple of things on theirs because I haven't listened because I haven't had time. But yeah, all that's there.
Disappointed.
Yeah, I know. I am so disappointing. I'm just going to slip back into the code because I'm in virtual reality right now and nobody knows where I go. I just disappear into the code. Bye. And then, yeah. Yeah. But with all of that, you guys want to say bye? No, never mind. They don't need to talk. I'm just going to mute them. I'm going to mute them right
Meet
now.
the potato lord and the mighty potato lord in the back rooms. Let's go. Backroom party.
Don't go there. It's all potatoes.
Why are there so many potatoes?
Only potato in room 34-9.
You had to tell them the number? Yeah, no, let's not say it. But yeah. Okay, with all that, everywhere, have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Be safe out there, and we'll see you next time. When I figure out the schedule, you'll see it and you'll know it. So everybody have a good night or whatever.
It's like his upload schedule on YouTube. It's going to take a week.
Shut up. Just because I like the suspense. It's up here on Twitch. Bye, all.